Hey, we're here! Yay!
Hooray!
Damn you, ads! I've just seen a whole bunch of steamed
Ads!
vegetables. It's a Chipotle.
Hatch.
But yes, we return. Oh, it feels so weird actually being in civilization again.
I know, right?
Well,
So weird.
I should specify, not in a dead civilization.
You know what? That's fair.
It's
fair.
been 84 years. Sneeple. I need to rewatch that movie. I haven't seen it in years.
Which one?
Titanic.
Oh yeah, that's what you were referencing.
Oh,
I had to resist the urge to say white chicks.
I haven't seen that movie in years either. I need to watch that one too.
Dude, they just told Terry Crews to be as boisterous as possible, and like they had to do complete resets because they kept making people just laugh their fucking ass off.
That's every Terry Crews thing though.
That was arguably one of the first Terry Crews things ever, though.
It was.
Serves. Ah.
It was because he used to be a security guard.
Before that, he was a football player.
Yep, went from a football player to a security guard.
Oh, what a wild career he's had.
Mm-hmm. Oh. But yeah, let's see. I got. Oh yeah, I knew there was. Oh, that's all right. Anyway.
Hello.
Hello.
Ew.
All right. Sorry, just a couple last bit it. Jeez, I'm not gonna bid stuff as I'm saying last minute things. What the heck, Mello?
Welcome to my world. I spent maybe an extra 40 minutes today having to fix a line take just because I couldn't read the phrase "has the statistics" in a normal readable voice, because when I say it in the regular way, my tongue gets depressed.
Aw.
It is. There's like
I
hell.
can see that. Yeah.
Ugh.
It was just hard, yo.
Yes, it is. And the
Words
worst
are
part
hard.
is when you're reading something that's specifically formatted for a certain type of rules, you have to read it as written.
Yep.
Thank you, Watsy. I
Yeah.
fucking hate you.
Yeah. Speaking of which, it's like the summit that happened yesterday, and I'm just kind of following it from the wings. I'm like, I'm excited yet concerned with everything that's going on.
I forgot that was happening, huh?
I was not invited.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of hearing through what Connor was going through, and then definitely Melissa kind of covered that as well. But anyway, before we dilly-dally any further, if everybody's good, we could go ahead and get started proper.
Okie dokie.
So everybody, welcome all to tonight's episode of Chult of Personality.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Dr.
Nick.
Tyrone. So, when we last left the expeditionaries, Dan, the half-elf witch, Zeno, the half-elf sorcerer, Elise, the wood-elf ranger fighter, Rue, the human druid monk, Enoch, the human warlock, and Tyra Bane, the minotaur paladin. The party had gathered Princess Waxrane after she had been trusted into their care and escorted her through the jungles of Chult towards Ataz Muhaha, a gorge where, off in the distance, cackling monkeys could be heard all around the valley. After investigating a damaged bridge, which bore a massive idol in the center of it, the party opted to use magic by flight and levitation, or telekinesis rather, to lift Henrietta and the carriage carrying Princess Rani above the gorge and back onto the road proper. During the course of the adventure, however, not everything was all roses, as Enoch did everything in his power to refute the advances of Princess Rani, heeding the advice of her teacher, Ashara. After several days of going through the jungle and passing through undead, the party has finally arrived back at the welcoming gates of Port Nyanzaru, eager to collect the reward for their effort in dealing with the death curse. After offloading some of the other travelers that they had collected on the way, including the jilted scouts that they had rescued in Nangalore, as well as parting ways with Kawasha and Shago. A contingent of jilted guards waited for our heroes and escorted them to the villa of the trade prince Wakanga O'tamu. And as we rejoin our party at the villa of Wakanga, what will our party get as reward for dealing with the death? What does Wakanga have to reveal to the party as far as what's been going on while they've been gone? Let's find out on tonight's episode of Chult of Personality.
Oh, that zoom in.
Backing up. Backing up.
up.
Backing up.
Forget, this place is fucking huge.
Don't worry. Don't worry, Mr. Crab. No, it's fine,
Dave is
Dustin.
here
We'll just
too.
buff out those scratches.
Keep going. You're good. You're good. You're
Good,
good. And
good.
stop.
Alright, so, at this point, Wakanga has his arms open as a couple of other guards have, basically have ushered you towards the door. Come on, my friends, it has been so long. Please. As he just kind of looks around at all of you. Some new faces, I must admit. It has been, months it seems like. But
Yeah.
please, come.
Yeah, Enoch will just go, we kind of lost most concept of time.
Being in the same spot for literally 3 weeks, right?
I think it was closer to a month.
Close, yeah.
Tyrant Bane is starry-eyed at everything, and especially how big this place is.
Yeah.
Alright, man, I can walk in here without hitting my head on anything.
But yeah, as you make your
Oh
way
yeah, do
through-
I have to do like the Hagrid crunch?
Slightly. I mean, you have to duck down slightly so that your horns don't catch the top of the door frame. But yeah, you're able to make your way through.
Place is so big. I lean over to Rue. Is all this for one person?
She kind of looks around curiously. Feels like a little bit of a waste if it were.
I've always just been used to smaller places, or if this is a place this big, there'd be a legion of us here.
Oh, surely it's for a village. It can't be for one person.
Truly.
No. Guys, welcome to the being extremely rich.
I mean,
Blank
there
face.
are like servants that live here too, and guards. I imagine.
You do realize we're stepping into the house of a royal, right? Scale.
Oh,
Faces.
Hmm.
Face is still blank.
Hmm. Yeah, just ruined Tyrant Bane, just the little question marks above them. Why don't they? I would say that. Why don't they say? Why don't they simply just, you know, for the good of the tribe? Maybe. I
mean, you gotta look at the city as we traveled through. I think their tribe's doing pretty well for itself.
I've never seen so many buildings in one place that have been so populated. And just everything's just so unique here.
Well, welcome to a learning experience, as he will gesture and just follow O'tamu.
As you're ushered in, you recognize the entryway with the square rectangular fountain that sits in the center, the various torches which are all magically lit along the various walls, some very ornate draperies, And standing motionless in one corner, you would recognize that the shield guardian
Yep.
that you had previously procured is still there.
He'll just say it. Oh, hey, Vorn. He'll just wave.
Senior,
I like to think that he looks at you, hand slowly goes up, waves like 3 times, and then hand goes back down.
The appropriate
Oh.
response.
Oh, yes, the shield guardian. Well, he has proven himself to be quite a fascinating piece. In truth, I'm not getting that many offers for anybody who would like to purchase him, so I've just been making use of it into the meantime.
Something that big would be very skilled at moving heavy objects around.
Enoch thinks back to him suplexing alligators. Yeah?
Come, help yourself to some food and drinks. And as you make your way through, he immediately passes a couple of servants that are waiting at the entrance. On the one to his left, he goes over and he grabs some sweet cakes, and then he takes a 5-foot step to the right. And you see there's a tray with various drinks, and he goes and grabs one and lifts them up. Please help yourselves.
is there anything Yuki could reasonably have? I mean, obviously not the drinks, but anything on the sweets tray that I could give her.
A little puppuccino for the dog.
Yes, exactly.
Is there just a basic sugar cookie?
Yeah, there are cookies. There are, like I said, sweet cakes. There are some fruits.
It'll take a nice looking fruit and then give Yuki a sugar cookie for herself. And she'll be bouncing all over the walls, I'm sure, later.
Ooh, you hear in your mind, ooh, thank you, Dan.
Of course.
Enoch is just going to reach over, take the first thing that looks vaguely alcoholic, and then just be like, okay, yep, I'm gonna prepare for this day.
Yep, you see there are some goblets of wine, there's a few cups of tej that are there as well. As well as ale.
Yeah, he's just gonna take some of that tej, just like 2 cups, just, yep, no, we're gonna need these to prepare. And just start sipping on one.
I point at a sweet roll and look at Dan. What is that?
Oh, that's a sweet roll. It's a nice, tasty pastry.
I
Very
curiously pick it up. You ever see it's the thing where a cow gingerly bites into something?
I have.
It's like the teeth, are, like the bottom row of teeth are like barely exposed. The tongue's just
Yes.
like, yeah.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does that. Just.
It is very sweet, very rich tart meat.
Mmm. This is amazing. Just. He's big, so.
No.
Bay just grabs like a whole armful of sweet rolls.
I've discovered donuts.
Get this man to a Dunkin' Donuts ASAP.
Kicks down the door of Dunkin' Donuts. I'll take your entire stock.
As you make your way in, Rane goes and as she makes her way over towards the drink, she grabs a cup of tej, and then Dan Elise, as you're making your way into the room, you just see a sweet cake just levitate off the tray and make her way towards Rane's open hand, and then she grabs it. Your hospitality is most appreciative, Master O'tamu.
Elise would grab, I don't know, is there like bread slices or something like that on the table?
Yeah, there are like some dessert breads that are there.
Should probably take that,
like-
and then like the most like middle of the road looking drinks that they have.
Probably tej or ale.
Yeah, something like that.
And Rue and Zeno, as you make your way up towards the tray, not just kind of looks up. Oh, I'll just have a banana. And then makes his way over towards the tray. And some water, please. That is all I need.
Then we get an ale and like a sweet roll.
Yeah, Rue will just take some fruit and some water.
If there's any tasty figs, a cow's gonna have his figs.
A date. You eat them.
Oh lord. Now we realize again that the sitting room is not built for people to have tokens.
Not particularly, but, you know.
Time to get cozy.
Some
Time
people
to get
might
cozy.
I've been avoiding that for 2 sessions!
Only so far, Enoch.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Listen, even with just our party and O'tamu, we're gonna be filling up every space in there.
Yeah, it's going to be real crowded in this room.
Alright. Place yourselves how you want to in the room. Alright. Before you can even begin to make your way over, Ronnie just walks over towards the couch, and as Ruru goes to take a seat as well, Ruru, I want you to roll another insight check. And Enoch,
I was just waiting for her to try to swoop in right from under me. Oh, let's see.
To be fair, I mostly grew up around girls who'd immediately see this and just take the lap.
I mean, if I was kind of halfway for that too. Insight, where are you? 15.
Alright. And Enoch, would you like to insight this as well?
Why not? Watch this be the
Please
one
get
time
low.
he's. Watch this be the one time he's not dense as a brick. Do. 14.
14.
Let's see. You just kind of... You both are able to see, especially you, Rue, as Ronnie just kind of rolls her eyes and says... flustered about the situation, so she'll make her way across the... and actually sit down on the couch next to Tiredbane.
Just gonna start taking a big drink of Tez. Just
It's the thing where just like it's the thing with the park bench where the park bench is very lifted up on one side.
Bruce, if only Rue had tea, it would just be a I sip my tea moment.
I mean, you can slurp anything.
Yeah.
That's not my business.
Yeah, but I sip my tea is just so much more satisfying to say than I sip my water.
True.
Alright, I'm not forgetting anybody, am I? Good.
Oh lord, I'm next to Talad. I should have just taken the princess. Oh yeah, you don't recognize him. We're 90% sure he's evil, but he wanted to come.
Talad just kind of looks at you and says, just kind of shrugs, it's like, what the hell? This isn't any way to treat a guest. As he just kind of looks over and just leans on the column right next to you, Enoch.
You do realize he's never met you, and also, he is literal royalty.
My apologies then. Talad Zolbris. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. Oh. Yes, I see. There are quite a few new faces I see here. What happened to your small friend? Oh.
unfortunate casualty of the adventures, sir.
I
Hmm.
see.
But yes, introductions are in order. So first off, Enoch will get up from his seat, walk over to here. May I introduce the rightful heirs to the throne of Omu, Princess Maxrane and Princess Na.
Thank you, Enoch. Your Highness, the pleasure is all mine. As she just kind of does that cordial head bow as she doesn't even get up. And Na just kind of peeks out around the corner. Oh, the pleasure is mine as well, Your Highness. Oh, so you are the heirs of the Lost Empire. I see.
Legitimate, I should point out.
That is interesting, I must admit. And as he just kind of looks around, and there are two of you now. The resemblance is uncanny as he kind of points over towards Dan and Dave.
Wait, you brought Dave?
Yes. I mean, he was on the map, so he's here. Ah,
Did you expect him not to bring his brother?
yeah.
It's
this is
just
my
you not
twin
going, you
brother.
brought Dave!
Yes. Introductions are in order here. This is my newly discovered twin brother, Dave. He was cloned by Peggy and the Sohn sisters, but I have adopted him as my twin brother.
Don't worry about it. I feel like I'm already acquainted with you, based on how everything worked out, to be honest, so it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance again, I guess? As he just kind of turns over towards you, Dan.
We'll turn to look at Dave. Yeah, pretty much.
It's
I mean-
complicated, isn't it?
Yeah. We share all the same memories. So technically, Dave has already met you, just not
Yep.
as himself. So, yeah.
And, oh, as he looks over towards you, Tired Bane, of course, man such as you is hard to miss. As he kind of looks over towards you, Tired Bane.
I've been told that more and more as our travels have gone on.
Yes. Allow me to introduce to you one of the fabled Sunblades of Napaka, Tyrant Bane.
I will stand up and give a very proud salute. Just chest thumping up against my chest. Fist pumping up against my chest. Did I say chest pumping up against my chest? Am I crazy?
I mean, yeah, but your pecs are so big, you could probably flex them like that.
Yeah, I can do the Terry Crews thing probably.
Exception.
just make them clap together.
Hey, O'tamu, check this out.
Motherfucker, you almost made me spit my drink with that.
I didn't drink after that. 'Cause I was like, yeah. He does the Arnold Mr. Universe pose.
It's good to make your acquaintance. My order has been exploring and holding back the Black Day in Omu for generations.
Right.
The Sun Blades of Napaka is a greatly Minotaur force.
I see.
And the final new addition to our party, one of the original inhabitants of Omu. Rue. Just Rue.
She will politely incline her head.
Ah. A pleasure to make your acquaintance as well.
Likewise.
So, let's get on to addressing smaller business first. Syndra has... I'm sure most of you are aware, Syndra has sadly succumbed to the death curse. And since your efforts in removing the death curse, our attempts to revive her have been unsuccessful. I would assume that would mean that her soul has been lost.
To be fair,
Course of the plague.
after what we saw what was happening to souls that were succumbing to the death curse, just passing on is hardly the worst thing.
Not to mention the fact that she wanted it gone so badly, it'd probably be a good thing for her.
We have destroyed the instruments of the Black Day down there. So there is an absolute possibility that her soul simply moved on and was not used as fodder for whatever fell act that was down there.
If only Jessamine hadn't passed quite as soon earlier. Oh, that's another thing we'll have to address later, but to the business at hand. As the executor of her estate in this matter, she promised to give you items of some magical items in exchange for your services. And you just watch him stand up as basically right at the foot of where the couch is. He waves his hand, and you see magic chest appear out of the floor and lands with a resounding thud. Oh, my apologies. And he just kind of shuffles around. On the table, he has some papers and yes, there was for this, and he just kind of goes through a ledger, just kind of thumbs through it, and then he goes to open up the chest. Yes, we'll start with you, Galadan. As he reaches into the chest, he pulls out, it looks like a folded piece of cloth, but it has several patterns on it. I say from where you're sitting at, Rue, it looks like there's a lot of eyes that are present on the fabric. And he stands up and he then walks towards Dan and presents it. One robe of eyes, as is requested.
Dan's gonna immediately put the robe of eyes on and begin the process of attuning.
Alright. And for you, Master Armstrong, he kind of rummages through the chest a little bit, and you see him pull out a staff. The first thing that you notice as he pulls out a staff, it looks like it's made of ivory, and you see a dragon effigy at the top of it. As he goes to grab it, he'll just look and say, one staff of the Iron Claw, and he'll extend the staff towards you, Zeno.
Zeno grabs it really excitedly because he's like, oh my god, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Excellent. And for you, Enoch, he just kind of fumbles around a little bit, pulls out a purple-looking rod, and you see him with cast a mage hand, and he just kind of floats it over towards you. One rod of the Pact Keeper.
Huh. Enoch will just hold on to it, look at, and then over the process begin to understand exactly what this thing is.
Well, let's see. As he just kind of thumbs through it, Wakanga kind of looks over to Elise and he says, yes, a +2 long bow, as is agreed upon. As he just kind of fumbles through, he goes to stop for a second as he kind of picks it up. Where is it? Kind of rumbles. And you see as he goes to pick it up, there's a rather fine, a rather strong-looking longbow. As he goes to lift that up, he'll extend it with the mage hand and hover it towards you.
Yeah, she'll gladly take it and start attuning to it.
That's everything that's on the list. Now, with Master Wick, unfortunately not able to do it. I suppose her offer would extend to, as he kind of looks over towards your direction, Pirate Maid and Rue. I could see if there's an item that possibly you might want as compensation.
That would be well. Of course, take your time, though.
And how about you, as Wakanga looks over to you, Rue?
She'll just kind of spread her hands in a just kind of a sure kind of way.
He ponders a little bit. Maybe not that particular.
While this is going on, Enoch's just gonna mage hand his Tej back to his hand and just start sipping with fascination.
You hear in your mind as this exchange is going on, right? He just kind of looks over towards you, Enoch. How is that Tej tasting, by the way?
Enoch will turn. Well, it's better than ale.
Never a great thing to say. Hey, does that taste like chloroform to you? Why?
Yeah. As you kind of hear her giggle in her mind, it's like, I have to try some of that next. As Wakanga kind of goes and fumbles around, perhaps this will do for you. And as you see him pull out another rod. This one is got leather wrappings, and on each of the ends you see there's a silver bowl that's effigied on the points. And he kind of goes and mage hands it towards you. I think this one should work out for you.
Is this for me? Oh, for Rue. Okay.
For Rue.
She'll take it, examine it, kind of press the button, and it just kind of hovers in place. Interesting. Thank you.
Very nice choice.
And for you, and he just kind of fumbles around. You see him, it's kind of hard to see at first, but you see him levitate towards you a small ring. As you get a better look at the ring, it looks like it's a golden ring that looks like there's a coiled piece of parchment that's basically where the top of the ring is. I think that ring of spell storing should potentially serve you well.
This is for me, the ring of spell storing?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Huh. So I could go ahead and put my battle prayers in this and use it at a later time.
If you are a spellcaster, yes, you can store your spells in that ring.
Huh. That is filthy, considering some of Tyrant Bane's spells are really fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Magic, like Magic Circle. Just put 3 charges of Enter the Octagon.
3 charges of fuck around and find out.
Oh, that's what I wanted to do with Sirak. I wanted to do Magic Circle, but the fucker kept hovering in a place where I couldn't use it.
Well, also, Magic Circle takes 10 minutes to cast, but if you put in a ring of spell storing, it just comes out.
I would love that. I could conjure the ring like Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
As Bonesaw Tyrant Bane.
I'm doing another 360. Oh, yeah. The cream. The cream.
As you're kind of looking around and just kind of pondering your items, you hear a slight cough as well, is there anything for me perhaps. After all, I did help as well, as you just kind of hear Talon, and you just kind of...
I like to imagine that all 5 of us just look over and just glare at him.
No, it
Well,
makes sense.
Not really.
No,
it does make
still, but-
sense.
The way he's saying it, though.
Well, of course, Talon. Let's see. I'm gonna just roll for something real quick. I suppose that is fair. What would you like? Any magic item of uncommon or rare, perhaps? You know, I wouldn't say no to a ring of spell storing if you have that as well. That actually would suit my needs quite nicely. Let me see if I've got one of those in here. Another one in there. As he just kind of waves his hand a little bit inside the chest. You see a puff of smoke popping out from it, and he just kind of goes and rummages through it. Is there one here? Yes, excellent. There is one. Here you go. And he goes to levitate one, and yeah, he gives Talad a ring of spell storing.
Now I see why Talad stuck around. He wanted some extra compensation despite we saved his fucking life.
Was your life not enough?
Was your life as well as the enchanted magical mace that you now have? Never had a chance to use it, but he's got it.
Well, if it's all the same for you, as Dave kind of pipes up at this as well. Do you have another one of those robes on hand? For me as well? As he kind of helped it, as Wakanga kind of tilts in. He kind of does the thing where he raises his finger up, and then drops it. And then he just kind of waves his hand, and you see another puff of smoke emanating from the chest. Let me see if she has another one of those. Also, going through some ledgers just to cross-reference. Yes. And then he'll wave his hands again, and then you see him pull out another robe, and he now gives Dave another robe of eyes. There, that should be everything. That's more than I anticipated with the rewards, but she did promise that, and I need to go by her wishes. As Wakanga just kind of waves his hands and the chest disappears. Now then, with that business out of the way, there's a lot that I need to discuss with you, all in particular, especially with you, Your Highness. A lot has happened while you have been away in the jungles. The most notable change is that one of the other trade princes, Jessamine, we just see him drop his head. Apparently, she had also succumbed to the death curse while you were gone. But
Enoch's eyes are slowly going to go wide as he quickly does the math and remember there was 9 of them, and now the trade princes are literally in a deadlock number.
Well, she was smart enough to be training her daughter, at least in the time before she had passed, Imerza. She has taken up her mantle as a trade prince. So, that is the most notable change as far as what's been going on. Given her nature, it's been rather interesting with her as a trade prince.
Remind me, what was Jessamae's, purview as a trade prince?
Jessamine was... She dealt with plants, poisons, and assassinations.
Just gonna see Enoch's face go, yep, of course, perfect.
Which actually leads me into my second point. With all due respect, Your Highness, I don't think you should be here. Well, why not? This is my home, this is my kingdom, this is my birthright. No. You don't understand, Your Highness. There are those of us within the trade princes. As he goes to fumble with his touch a little bit, takes a sip back, kind of as if giving himself a dose of cough medicine.
Wouldn't want to give the power away, huh? Zenos
Exactly.
speaks up.
They would like to maintain the status quo. Especially between Chopal, Kwayote, and Taroa. Those three in particular would not want to see their power taken away as a result of your rights to power, as it would. As much as I would like to help you, I cannot guarantee your safety while you're here. Well, your countenance is rather assured, Master O'tamu. Yes. If I were you, though, I would see to it that she leaves the city. No doubt the wondering eyes of whether it be those three trade princes or perhaps even the forces that they employ would take exception to the fact that you might be here to upset their stand in power. But keep it lay low, I would say, at least in the meantime. But otherwise, my hands are really tied here. There's not much I can do here.
So where is our new trade princess lie? This, Esmore, I think you said their name was?
Imerza.
Imerza.
And I'll go ahead and type that in chat for you.
Oh, I was way off on that. Okay. I can't imagine that, like, the rest of the trade princes haven't tried to pounce on her to just swing her to their side.
Imerza... I don't think she would align herself with the others unless there was a good reason to. Kitty Alpha. Yaun-ti for sure would probably be for her cause, but at the same time, Marissa might be a little harder to sway, as well as a Kitty Alpha.
Well, it's
This
not
is
like we
all-
don't have political allies on our side that we could possibly use to convince some folks. He'll gesture. These two have the backing of the Aarakocra of, oh, I'm forgetting it. We were just there. Kirsabal, there it is. Of Kirsabal, and points to Tyrant Bane. We've got the entirety of the displaced Minotaur tribes of Omu back over at Hisari. Both have vested interests in seeing these two put back on the throne of Omu.
Mm-hmm.
Not a fair situation for anyone, or that's not these two. I can see that, but at the same time, birthright does take precedent. It usually does.
And for staying in support, there's over 100 Minotaurs in Hisari who would go ahead and back these two.
Not to mention the Aarakocra that are from the village that these two were living in.
The trade princes that would stand opposed directly. They have spies everywhere. And thugs that are not afraid to get their hands dirty for them. But
When he says that, Enoch thinks to do something, so give me 1 second, Milla. I'm just checking for scrying sensors.
Bold man who would go ahead and step around to a minotaur. The minotaurs go first. They all charge.
all right. Your eyes flash, and as you look around, you sense the new magic items that your friends have all acquired, as well as the control talisman of Vorn Sr. currently worn around Wakanga's neck. And you also detect some pigs that are just on the other side of the walls, which you saw those magically lit torches.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from that, you don't detect any other magic here.
Yeah, because one of the best parts of detect magic is that if there's a scrying sensor, it shows up as literally a ball that looks like an eye. Well, Enoch will just turn. Well, for good news is right now they're not scrying on us. This room's safe.
Yeah, because fortunately they don't have any reason to right now. They don't know that these two are even here.
Though, something you could possibly bring up that won't alert them to the prince and princess. The Yaun-ti in Omu are still gathering an army, and they're looking to expand outward through all of Chult. So, the status quo is going to get upset either way, because not even with the Flaming Fists and all the other, bands, will we be able to stand against them if we don't start uniting. Though, luckily, we did not end up securing the horribly dangerous magic item that the current leader of the Yaun-ti was asking us to look for. I'm pretty sure that's buried under lava now.
Well, Enoch, if you recall, she was looking for the Black Opal Crown, I believe it was, as you hear Dave kind of chime in.
Oh, yeah, this is from the point where your memories stop, syncing up. We found out the reason why she wanted that crown is so she could control the thing that Asirak was throwing at us, that nasty dark evil ball.
Yeah, that is definitely under lava now. As well
That's
as several
nifty.
phylacteries.
We would hope it wouldn't come back. Yeah.
I mean, theoretically. Well, I have a quick question, just for the sake of it. Am I attuned to the robe of eyes yet? Because it lets me see certain things that I want to make sure are not in here.
Oh, it's not quite an hour yet, but...
Fair
The
enough.
eyes of the robe of peepers.
I would think in terms of timeline, it's probably maybe been like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Fair
probably
point.
about 20 minutes, that'd be fair to say.
Dang. Because I can see invisible things and ethereal things when I'm finally attuned, so if there were someone spying on us in a more direct way, I'd see them if this was done.
Mm-hmm.
But
Like
oh
the-
well.
Zeno would chime in. To be quite honest, my involvement's looking like it's going to be a little bit less these coming weeks. But the problem I see is that it's either fight with the trade princes or fight with the Yaun-ti. And personally speaking, a army of snake people is a little bit more of a priority.
Don't think we need to fight the trade princes. I think the better move here is to get the trade princes to realize that the Yaun-ti are going to be a serious threat to their status quo.
That's exactly what I was getting to there, Dan. Because whether these people like it or not, these two are now going to be the ones in charge. At least that's what I'm coming to understand.
I honestly don't see the real issue, considering that with the distance between Omu and Port Nyanzaru, I mean, they'd basically just become regents under Her Majesty no matter what would happen, because theoretically, like, you couldn't just rule both these cities as easily. She would need regents, so trade princes would just have power directly under her. But then again, rich people do stupid shit all the time.
There is one other matter that concerns me, though. In regards to Omu, the one thing that separates Nyanzaru and Omu, the massive jungle that is teeming with undead. The fact that that in itself is quite the obstacle. I'm not sure if the trade princes would be willing to just throw their forces away on a whim just to try to fight their way through. Hell, even the Flaming Fist are having their difficulties in trying to patrol and maintain through the jungle, and that's a whole other issue entirely.
Oh, funny you should say that. I set up a teleportation circle there. All I gotta do is just complete another end to it, and then we could instantly be in Omu. Enoch just says offhandedly while taking a sip of Tej.
Yeah, no, we that was something that actually came up at length during our stay at that town. Because think about it, the good thing to think about
I'm
is
sorry,
sorry.
I'm just gonna cut it just for a split second. As Enoch makes that comment, you just see Wakanga drinking another glass of Tej, and you just hear it just do a massive spit take out of the glass. You set up a teleportation route
Yeah,
in Omu.
yeah.
Yes.
Like the first thing we did after we got out of the Tomb of Annihilation. I figured it'd be really important. Didn't know we were gonna need to, secure the new royalty of, like, Gestures Moxronic. Our plans changed a lot. We didn't even know they existed until, like, a long time ago. Yeah.
A week until a week before we met them.
My commander's been informed of it, so it will also be well defended as well.
Yeah, I
We
could
have
also set up
forward scouts keeping an eye on it. We're clever than putting an entire force and making it look like there is something there.
I can also set up a teleportation circle between here and the Minotaur capital of Hisari. I set one there too.
That would expedite things greatly. As you just see, him waving his hands, he begins to cast prestidigitation on himself to clean up the Tej as you're continuing the conversation. My apologies. Oh. That does...
In our defense, I think we probably should have led with that.
Also, if you give me time, there's also a teleportation circle that was set up by a different caster, literally in the heart of Omu. Though it's tricky to get down from there. We'd have to set up like a rope bridge or something, but if you need a halfway point, all we'd have to do is get back there and copy that one down.
I believe you
Wait.
mean the heart of Uptao?
Uptao, yeah.
I was just about to ask that. There's another teleportation circle in that sacred site?
Yeah, set up
Who
by
was
an evil
there?
lich. Set up by an evil lich. Like, I guess I should ask. What was her name? I know it was like Silvermane or something.
Valindra, as Dave chimes in. Valindra
thank you.
Shadowmantle.
Yeah. You may want to have the guards around the city check for someone named that. Elf, blonde, wears a lot of dark clothes. Though at this point, we've already killed one lich and survived meeting her the first time. I think we could just handle her if we found her in the city.
Especially of this new ring. Bane's wiggling his ring finger.
Your new ring, my new staff, my friend.
Well,
As you're beginning to think things through a little bit.
If I may be so bold that actually thinking about it further, that might influence the trade princes that wouldn't want to give away their power, make them want to help us out with this and go with this, because we just let them help rule over the Omu side of that circle, then they don't lose their power, really.
That you do bring up a good point, Seno, as Rane just kind of leads in a little bit. I would be willing to negotiate to respect the sovereignty of Nyanzaru if that ever came to be. As Na just kind of peeks around and looks up. Yes, well, you can still have them in charge of Nyanzaru. We would just be in charge of everything else around it. As Wakanga just kind of thinks about it for a little bit. That is a good point. The other issue would be dealing with the Flaming Fist and their claims, but
Can I be frank with you, O'tamu? Because I've been thinking about this.
Sure.
To put succinctly, fuck them. They're just a force that you didn't have enough people to stand against that just said they claimed this entire land to colonize it, but they haven't really done any of that. They've just taken a whole bunch of explorers' money. We've got 100-strong Minotaur. I'm pretty sure we could easily wipe that camp off the face of Chult if we wanted to.
And the fact that it's just one camp.
He leans. Ironbane leans over. More, actually.
Yeah, my point is if they want to get in our way, we have literally the perfect thing to move them out of our way. They should probably just get behind us if they want to have anything left at the table.
We'll do diplomacy first, of course. Commander's very good at that. If not, well, Traylor did always say he wanted to work on his right hook.
They may have flaming fists, but we have cow fists. I'm gonna bet on cow every time.
Chaylor, for the entire month, has been punching the same tree of his right foot.
Somebody hasn't had steak lately.
I'm gonna get myself that wood stick. As he's just gonna keep punching that tree and try to chop it down.
Come on, I've seen the commander do this.
Commander Steve did this all the time. Knocked down an entire tree with just his fist.
But yeah, I would say for right now, why don't you just focus on bringing over the more trustworthy, like, trade princes to your side of thinking. Maybe don't tell them exactly who's in here, but say that we've got a way to properly control all trade in and out of Omu, and see if that doesn't wet some whistles.
Roll a persuasion check for me, Enoch.
Oh boy, he's so good at this. 11.
You have inspiration.
Yeah,
Sure,
this
you're right.
is the one to use it.
Sure.
I'll tell you what.
I can help you with my with my large Cal presence to help you.
I'll tell you what. I rolled against it. I'll just tell you right now. You don't need to waste your inspiration on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
It'll take me a few days, but I'll try and set up some meetings with the Kene Alpha as well as with Yaun-ti. But as far as heirs is concerned, that might take a little bit.
Well,
If we could just get those three on our side, we could do democratic process. We could override the other three, though. If they ever did catch wind of this could be very dangerous.
Is any way we could potentially get leverage on the other three? I mean, I don't mean to toot my own horn or anything, but I could maybe turn invisible, sneak inside one of their compounds, maybe get some intel, information of value. I could scry on somebody if I know them by name or have a piece of them. You know, something they own, a little bit of hair, what have you. There are ways I could potentially get information about whoever
Dan,
to...
I'll give you an intelligence check as you're kind of pondering through this.
Okie doke. 16.
Well, one name kind of comes to mind. You remember in your time when you first arrived at Port Nyanzaru, your encounters with Coyote. You're at least familiar with her.
Coyote.
She's the one who literally pulled 5 people off the street and said, hey, if you want to help this guy not get sent to jail, how about you murder this other guy? Oh, and if you tell anyone, I'll deny it.
Her. I mean, we do have some pretty good dirt on Coyote already. Since we, and he does air quotes, did a job for her. You know, trying to go around the back of Trade Prince of Assassination, though she's no longer with us. Just
Well, actually, that'd be great. That'd be great information to possibly sell to her daughter for leverage over Coyote.
Oh yeah.
And then
Exactly.
favor for a favor.
Especially because the guy that she was trying to off is just so good.
You mean that guy who was totally dead and we do not know where he is?
Yes, he could be anywhere.
Yeah, like I miss him. That just says that like just nonchalantly. I just miss him. Okay.
So, wait. So if my understanding is correct, you were recruited to kill this person, and you did?
Let's just say that unless we need him to testify, he will not show up.
He's misplaced, let's say, at the time being, but we could, if need be, shoot a message to wherever he is in whatever undisclosed location.
Tyrant Bane will flourish this by wiggling his fingers and go, magic.
Yeah, let's go.
I
with
like to
that.
think that laugh was in character because that'd be funny.
Oh yeah, just Coyote or Wakanga's like, do not tell me about cheap tricks. I was there when I learned them. I don't know. I botched that
I
so
was
hard,
there
my
when
God.
the old magic was written.
I'm the trade prince of magic and lore. You do not need to tell me what works.
The point is, possibly if some of us had a meeting with Imerza, we could possibly give her some information and see about trading that information for political favors. Which, in all honesty, would only be better for her because if we have a direct line to Omu, that's a direct line through a lot of the jungle to a whole lot of plants that can be used for poison.
Well,
Plus, as he'll gesture to Maxrane and Na, we have surprisingly good rapport with royals. We're finding.
I for one can vouch for capabilities of my entourage, as Rade just kind of says out loud and looking towards all of you.
I'll let that.
What was that, Dan? I kind of missed that.
Oh, Dan's gonna smile at that.
Oh. I have a question for you, though, Wakanga, if you'll entertain me. Would it be possible for me to stay with you? In the meantime, as my entourage tends to other matters or does other things, I trust you could potentially help keep me safe. I mean, with a man such as your power must have some means of protection, as she kind of looks out towards the doorway. and the guards that are at this point the door's been kind of left open just to kind of help the breeze blow through. The guards and the servants just kind of, well, the two servants just kind of go and about face off, and then the two guards just stand on either side of the door.
Some other strapping young man in armor.
I was gonna say, you have a warn.
Well,
Also, don't put that idea into her head, Caitlin. I was made to promise that she will not. Don't make it Enoch's job to officially cock block.
Excuse me, I believe it would be clam jam in this situation. Just saying.
Listen.
Yeah, a little
listen,
clam jamming.
Well, here's the thing. It's gonna be cock blocking or clam jamming on either side because we don't know their preferred. Well, true. I'm not gonna assume any sexuality here. I'm just gonna sit back and have some.
Yeah, you know what? That is fair. That is fair.
Just something's going somewhere at the end of the day. End of the day, something's going somewhere.
Things are going places.
God, out of the context, all these quotes coming up in this session.
Yeah, we are on it today. Like, this is actually one of the best ones in terms of roleplay we've had in months.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Man, political intrigue. But yeah, never thought I would be in a campaign, people talking about cock blocks and clam jams.
You're welcome.
That's true.
Anyway.
If you can vouch for your guards and your servants, this would be a safer place to keep them than with. He will gesture out the window towards where I'm assuming that you'll just see Henrietta lazing about with their tongue out.
But you see the door like a giant eye in the other door.
Oh, that's right, I completely forgot. Speaking of tokens, all of a sudden, there's Ka. Because I completely forgot to grab his token earlier, so of course he's right behind.
Listen, he should have been making Enoch's job easier. I'm no longer happy that he's here.
So, right, as Wakanga ponders Ronnie's proposition for a bit. Very well. I can assure you my accommodations would be better than a lot of the taverns that the common folk would dabble in. Plus, between the Shield Guardian and my warriors, we should be more than capable of defending. Along with your guard, as he kind of turns his head towards, as he just kind of realized that he's been there this time. Oh. Is my name. Ah, nice to meet you. Ka. Yes.
Thinking about Enoch will just look over at Talad. Hey Talad, would you like room and board as well as possibly some money down the line to keep the prince and princess safe?
He does that thing where he goes and strokes his chin.
I do like money. I forgot you could tempt me with things I like.
You joke, tired babe, but he just kind of looks and says, I suppose an arrangement could be made.
I too like eating and sleeping.
There were some treasures in the tomb where we ended the Black Day. I'd be willing to go ahead and part with a couple of mine. My tribe normally does things through bartering and whatnot. We're well knit, but the things such as money and whatnot, we really didn't have any use for. More things of just stone, wood, or hides, things like that.
Which is going to make your people very popular, and the fact that they're going to be occupying Omu will make setting up Omu even more important.
If you'd be willing to help us fortify Hisari as well. We live in the ruins there. We've made it livable, but it could, like Commander always does say, it could be more well fortified. she tries to go ahead and keep things at least a week ahead.
As Wakanga kind of thinks about it for a little bit. Sorry. Well, I think I have heard of that place. And now that you mention with the Yaun-ti. Huh.
As I said, I also put a teleportation circle there, so all it would take me is about 10 minutes to set up a new one. And we've already just expanded the trade routes of all of Port Nyanzaru. Just throwing it out there.
That does seem like it would be rather... As my offer stands, I will take some time to meet with the Kene Alpha and with Yaun-ti. See if she's on board. I could potentially set up a meeting to try and see if we could persuade Imerza as well. Then after that, I could arrange a meeting with us as a council with you in attendance potentially. It might take some time for me to do that all together, but I could summon for you when I have a chance to meet with Imerza.
He'll just gesture at the group. We've got time.
Perhaps it'd be a nice bit of repose. I mean, I'm sure for as long as you've been in the unforgiving jungles of Chult, I'm sure you would more than likely like some downtime and relax and bathe and partake in some of the other sites properly.
Those two would definitely be the last two would be in particular thanks. I have one request.
And that is?
I have some friends that I'm pretty sure think I'm dead, and I need to, well, write them and tell them I'm not. Is there any way I can get a message sent out?
We might be able to get some... Well, if we meet with some of the... Perhaps. I'll tell you what. As he just kind of goes through and lifts up her ledgers, or his ledgers, Sidro's ledgers. Yes. Perhaps. As he goes to wave his hands, he casts a spell, and that chest appears again. Perhaps I do have some... yes. As he kind of lifts it up, and he kind of goes and lifts up a case. It's... As he goes and lifts up this case, you see him take out some magic some papers. I recently acquired these from some merchants that were from Waterdeep. Have you ever heard of a paper bird?
Can I roll an insight to see if I have?
I'll allow an Arcana check to see if you heard of such a thing.
Did I also roll Arcana?
Sure.
Nat 20.
Well, never mind.
Also,
Like,
I'll also allow you to roll, Dan.
Okay. Arcana. 24.
Yeah.
we'll hear that his eyes will perk up. Like, wait, those are real?
As you kind of ponder this a little bit, Dan, in your experience, your peers have had ways to, in particular with Granny Joe's travels, you remember telling stories about magic paper that you can write letters on and it turns into a magic bird that flies away. And you can use that as messengers. Zetto, this makes perfect sense because in the school where you came from, they often use paper birds as official correspondence.
All right, I'll go redo that then. Wait, you have some? Oh, thank God.
Yes. as he looks at it. Let me see how many are in this one. Well, if you need... This box has... let's see, he kind of thumbs through it. Well, this one has 6 sheets of paper. I'd be willing to part with these for 600 gold.
Above you, but we have 400 left. Before 483 left.
I've got like 1,518. I don't know how I got so much, but I have it.
Yeah,
I don't know if I just forgot to keep track or what.
yeah. I've got 1,111 gold and 24 platinum.
Then I probably just forgot to keep track.
Yeah.
I'll lean over to Dan and hold up a platinum coin. How much is one of these worth?
10. I have 28 of those.
I'll lean over to Rue. How many would these be?
How many would they be?
I have 25, so it would be 250. Just he's not a smart cow.
Yeah, she'll
He's a
count them
good
out.
cow.
She'll count them out for him then patiently.
I have this many.
Hearing
Alright,
this,
so
Enoch is just making a mental note in his head. Keep an eye on Tyrant Bane in the city.
Oh god.
Alright, so...
I'm okay with giving all 28 of my platinum.
Alright, so 28 platinum. And... So that's 280.
You need 20 gold for 3 more pieces. I mean, for 3 pieces total.
Well...
I can give the rest of the gold away. That'd be what, about 60 gold, right?
20.
Oh no, 20 gold? Yeah, I can do that.
Alright, as you kind of pat it up, it's like, well... Yeah, 100 gold pieces per page. That sounds about right. So he just kind of goes through.
No, that's fair. Just I'm glad I had the money this time.
Alright,
Thank
so
you, Tyrant Bang as well.
yep, and he'll go and he'll offer you 3 sheets of paper birds.
Perfect, because I have 3. Like, as soon as he gets out of here, Zeno's gonna write 3 letters, 1 to each of his friends that he has back at the college that he cares about.
That's all my plan. Hey.
Alright. So, as Wakanga kind of goes, well, is there any other business you wish to discuss before we adjourn until next time?
Can you suggest a good place for us to park our house?
Right.
Words.
I was meaning to ask about that as he was just, as he just kind of shakes his head. It's like, I'm surprised I didn't say anything earlier. What is that? As he kind of looks at all of you.
I'm glad you asked.
Abridged version, Dan.
Look,
I just like how that's. Just for the record, I'm just glad that's basically Dan's catchphrase at this point. I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
That should be our raid message.
He's like God. He's like Billy Mays.
Oh wait, there's more.
Wait, there's more.
But
No.
I'm not done yet.
No, I'm Billy Mays.
Yeah,
This is
if I-
potential 4 attacks per turn here.
Chocolate, you're kind of peeking there, buddy.
Slightly
How's that?
That's a lot better.
better.
Then we'll
Cooler.
deflate. That's Henrietta. She is my animated hut. Special witchcraft magic that only my people, and I guess other witches of other circles could do, but she walks around. I can call her whenever I desire, and she'll travel immediately to me.
I see. Well, as far as open areas to potentially park, Henrietta, they're not the most savory spots, but perhaps around Teruyuki Anchorage or up in Malar's throat, maybe. There are a couple of ruins of other homesteads that are in those neighborhoods. You could possibly park her there.
Could you switch us over to the other map and show us where those are?
Sure.
Yes, please.
And he kind of looks at it as like, oh, if you need directions, those are the less reputable areas to the, well, if you count the old city as well, but that's even, yeah, that's true. And he kind of looks over. Do you guys pull out a map?
Yeah, I mean,
Cinder's map?
So we're here. Where are we going?
Well, you could possibly park in the old city, where the dinosaur pits and the dinosaur races are. Probably over here. You could go over to Malar's throat. He points over towards the west. Or to Yiki Anchorage, which is... He points over towards the southwest of the city. Outside the... Granted, they're all outside the walls, but...
Bad chance of anything trying to attack us, and if it does, good luck.
I mean, yeah, it looks like Anchorage is probably the best spot because there's like a whole bunch of empty patches there we can just park her.
That's true.
We did have an attack of undead about 5 days ago, but... thankfully, it seemed like it wasn't as bad as... I think I remember before you left last time. Wasn't there an attack of undead? As
There
Wakanga
was,
got
yes.
tried to-
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we repelled a good chunk of it. We are significantly stronger now.
I think anybody in this room could probably solo of the entire attackers and probably 2 hits at this point.
Good high power moonbeam could evaporate most undead.
Let's see. Well,
Sorry, go ahead.
as Wakanga just kind of ponders a little bit. Well, I have some favors to pull. I have some counsel to take. And Your Highness, I will see to it that your accommodations are about as good as we can offer while you enjoy your stay here. That would be most appreciative.
I had a very random thought when you mentioned the dinosaur races. Henrietta is not a dinosaur. Could I potentially compete with Henrietta, though?
No, unfortunately, the dinosaur races are very specifically in theme with dinosaurs.
Damn.
Especially with the ones as large as that.
Draco, I have a quick question. Are you familiar with the Ed, and Eddie meme where he's just holding out both his hands? That is what Enoch is doing right now, not saying a word.
Listen, I wanted some wacky races shenanigans, but I guess we don't get wacky races.
You crossed a continent! How wackier of a race can it be?
Well, we didn't race anyone. It was just us traveling. That's not a race.
I very specifically remember running from trolls. Undead ones. You could call that a race.
She has a point.
I guess.
I actually very specifically remember a T-Rex as well.
I guess.
And
Could've been-
all the velociraptors that Henrietta practically ran over.
Think of it this way. It was a race for your life.
But we weren't in any real danger. I
That's
mean, not
the
that I
best
want
part.
to be in danger.
Because you won the race. Congratulations.
There's no... I mean, I guess there is, but
Do not
Well-
endanger the home in which several of our children are currently living.
I mean, obviously they wouldn't be in the house in the wacky races scenario. They'd be watching the race.
Just goes back to the pose.
Oh man, I was not expecting that.
As soon as you mentioned the dinosaur races, that was my immediate thought. Like, wait a minute, racing.
If you do wish to compete in the dinosaur races or even participate, they do have a slew of riders that are able to be there, as well as well, there are several different types of races, if I recall correctly. Actually, that would be a good question for Akane Alpha, because I think one of her sons is actually a renowned dinosaur racer in the city. But if I recall correctly, there are at least 3 different types of races. 2-legged races, 4-legged races, and no-holds-barred races.
Interesting.
Which the 2-legged races are, you know, your Hadrosauruses, your Deinonychuses. Your 4-legged races are your Ankylosauruses, your larger beasts. And then you have your no holds bar, which those are the more exciting ones in my opinion. They actually get, I think one of the raiders has a young T-Rex that they use for that. As well as Allosauruses. But grand ripperoid time, if I recall. I haven't seen it myself in a while because I'm usually too busy, but
Be something to look into. I'm imagining with no holds barred, basically no rules. Are there occasionally spell slinging going on as well as the dinosaurs attacking, or is it just the dinosaurs can do whatever?
if I recall, the use of spells is strictly forbidden during the races. However, in the no-holds-barred races, the dinosaurs can attack other riders, yes.
Okay, that
Other
makes
dinosaurs.
sense.
Dan, I'm pretty sure Henrietta is larger than any competing dinosaur in those races.
I mean, I know, but I understand I can't use Henrietta in the races if I were. But if I were hypothetically to race in the race, I want to know if I could use magic or not.
There's a reason why I made sure I put this in the actual chat.
Yeah, that's a perfect reaction to this.
This is why wizards aren't allowed to do sports.
True, they would destroy everyone.
And then they would foul like regular soccer players.
But imagine how fun it would be. Dinosaur races with magic flying all over the place. I mean, we may destroy a significant part of the, town, but it would be fun for a time.
I'm glad you're saying this above game, otherwise...
That is above game, absolutely. Dan isn't saying that in character. God, no.
Yes, I would also like to point out we need this town! We spent over a year trying to get back to this town because we need it.
Right.
You need
a year
this.
of IRL time, as opposed to in game.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I think we'll go secure a place, and the second you need us, just let us know. I mean, you got the sending spell, right?
Yes, I could solve it for you, need be, but just in case. Were you staying at the Thundering Lizard, or was it Kendra's Repose?
We'll probably park our house in the anchorage. It's kind of all we really need at the moment. Now we no longer have like 20 some odd people.
Right, Tuyuki Anchorage. That's right, I completely forgot about Henrietta.
Yeah.
Yes.
Henrietta. I mean, look at her. He'll point out the window at her. I imagine she's just like scratching herself with her hind leg at the moment.
You just hear a loud woof, woof, as you just feel a low rumble as Henrietta barks. As Wakanga kind of chimes in again. Just be aware. The beast stables are nearby, and agents of Ifantaroa would be there as well, so no doubt he might have spies in the area as well.
Well, we're probably not going to talk about what we talked about here, and all they'll really see is that we are probably the weirdest people on this side of the continent currently.
The weirdest?
Enoch again points to Henrietta, points at himself, points at the kids who are probably looking outside of Henrietta.
Oh, well. To be fair, I haven't seen anybody who looked like me either.
I mean, true, that's why you're kind of an ambassador. I'm just saying some of us stick out visually like a sore thumb, and then the rest of us, due to our social skills, also stick out like a sore thumb. I admit, as I say this, I get hit both ways with this, but you know what? I have just made it I just made peace with that, and he just takes a big sipatage.
Damn, you're savage.
Enoch had so much hope in it. Listen, Enoch had so much hope when we started this journey, and Chult has crushed all of it out of it. He is a complete cynic.
Meanwhile, Dan, who is afraid of everything, is now fucking Rambo over here, walking through town on his doghouse. I'm basically immortal. Not really, but I feel that way.
I've discovered something. I'm immortal and I can't die.
Yeah. I mean, technically speaking, if I get a few more levels, I think I can choose when I die of old age as a witch.
I choose when I die.
Yeah, you know what? I've lived long enough. Time to die.
Alright. So, I think on that note, as Wakanga begins to pick himself up and begins to escort you guys out, the rest of the day is yours, and that's actually a good place for us to take a break.
Yeah.
All right.
Huh. Who knew that playing political intrigue could be so nerve-wracking?
You're the one to talk. I'm trying to think of how many different ways this could go in the background. I'm like, oh, God, this was easier than I thought it was going to be, but I'm still freaking out over this.
You gave me the out of Enoch... Milla, you gave me the out of one of the books that Enoch was reading was about politics, and he doesn't sleep, so he read the entire book front to back.
Fair. As I'm doing the thing where he pops this open and my fingers raised up and then drops. Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
I'll be right back, guys.
Alright, but I gotta grab a drink too. I'll be back.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some more water. Stretch my
I
legs.
gotcha.
Yeah. The best part is Enoch was throwing around terms like they could be their regent. Nobody asked him if Enoch knew exactly what a regent was. He just knows kind of what they do. He's like, that sounds like an official word they'll eat up. Yeah, okay. Oh, I just thought of something. No one should point out that if the princess ever got Enoch to return his advances, he's technically on his way to becoming royalty. If things worked out, which would be a whole new set of anxiety for him. But how's things going, chat? I hope you're enjoying the show. Also, I'm surprised at how many people seem to enjoy us jumping into the AI Somnium files with Sako last week. That is a very weird-ass game. And we've committed to the long haul every other week.
Hey.
Definitely didn't expect how the first chapter to end, but, you know, that certainly is a thing. Also, I spent way too much time in, like, boss's, like, office looking at all of the weird shit she keeps down there. I wasn't prepared for Mario. Oh, I'm glad you liked it, Robot. Yeah, and for those who want to check it out, everything's up on YouTube right now, which, I am definitely looking forward to this week's Saved by the Spell. Now we've started doing weekly actions instead of having to roleplay everything out. I can't wait to find out exactly how dangerous a game that I'm stuck in. Nothing like your DM confirming that you are the pawn in someone else's chess game.
Oh, I love that. I love chess.
Oh yeah, no. The worst part is, like, this is the pawn that typically gets eaten by one of the players, and then the other guy's wondering how they're losing. I've been sending that meme to people who still follow it, who haven't caught up, and I'm just like, here's a summary of the most recent episode. It's just that meme. And the more you think about it, with the person who put, like, all of the responsibility on my character's, like, shoulders, above game, I'm just like, man, why would you put your faith in this horrible disaster child? Meanwhile, him in character just like, huh, well, it's nice to have responsibility.
It truly is. It's nice to be wanted.
Yes. Yeah. I think I've.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I think I've kind of worked myself over the hump of, you know, working me up, because I was doing a lot of prep. I'm like, oh god, this is gonna go so wrong so many different ways, and I'm finally getting to the session of playing it through. I'm like, oh, it's not so bad. I found my groove. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. It's not worst case scenario. Everything's fine. But anyway, you're saying.
I'm back.
I just realized something we're gonna have to bring up, but at least then wasn't the time. Oh yeah, you guys are gonna have to build a church to Yaun-ti in 2 different places. Sorry, them's the rules. We didn't make the rules. We just talked to the god. She said she wants this, so we're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
When a literal god tells you to do something, you do it.
I have returned.
Welcome back.
I have popcorn now.
So, Draco,
Mm-hmm.
I have a joke which you might be able to like, while we're just kind of waiting for everybody else to get back in.
Oh, do tell.
Yes,
What
dude,
does
because I
the
need
cow
a bathroom
rapper?
break.
Yeah, go for a bathroom break. What did the cow rapper say to the dog?
I don't know what he say.
Moo, bitch, get out the way.
Well, I mean, since he's gone, I might as well grab a random pun from my list. I've read that on my own streams. Ah, here we go. One of the new ones. The first 5 florists I called knew nothing about carpet or tile, and suddenly I'm an idiot.
I just love how I threw that joke in. Oh, whose chat was it? I just threw that joke in Cabal, and one of the monsters kind of looked at me. It's just like, I'm not timing you out because you made me laugh. I'm like, I'll take the warning and the compliment.
By the way, guys, I recommend, if you haven't played it yet, play the Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. It's actually a really fun story.
Citric's trying to get me to play that.
Yeah, I need to get into that at some point too. And at least it's free.
I will say this. That, like, I was like, oh, what, Sega? Why did you put me in this game without my consent? Because the player character is literally me.
And I'm just sitting here like, yeah. I mean, if they wanted to really capitalize on it, they could have released it on April Fools. But, damn, still a good game from what I hear.
I can't believe Sonic is canonically dead.
Taco Bell gong.
All right. Well, do we have everybody back?
I'd like to think so. But, you know, we can't prove that. Can't prove that legally in the court.
It is true.
Mhm.
Allegedly.
I'm probably fake.
No. That's birds, remember?
Oh,
Need
yeah,
verification
you're
for
right. You're right.
Yeah, birds. Yeah, false birds. False birds.
Listen, birds were
alleged
created in
forest.
1970 by the government to spy on us. We all know this.
Hey, just like alleged forests.
Wake up, sheeple!
I don't see a forest, I just see a bunch of trees. We're a glade, actually. God, that lives rent free in my head. God damn it, Connor.
I remember working at a kitchen, and I've discovered everybody was a flat earther, and my brain went, oh no, they're really dumb. They're all really
Oh
dumb.
no.
Save me.
Oh no, our friends are stupid.
Oh no, they're all really dumb for stupid!
Yeah, I was trading stories with Connor in a random call I was in, and I was just like, he was like, oh yeah, I watched my player stuff Vecna in a locker. I was like, oh yeah, did Rabbit tell you how he killed the second most powerful lich in the game? And he was like, oh, I think I do remember that.
Oh yeah. My man Smites, man. And I saw, I think
gunshot
Felix
dude.
worked on a revised stat block for Vecna, and I was like, yeah, this totally seems like something that would actually make him seem like a very powerful threat.
Dude, we were all very disappointed with Vecna. Like, we talked for like 90 minutes after that show about how much of a weenie Vecna was.
I mean, you did throw a bunch of Vikings at him, and pixies that died immediately.
That didn't even
and then
have
all of
anything
you.
to do it. His skills are just the weeniest.
There.
He's just a weenie.
He's a little weenie.
He's just
Weenie
a
Hut
little weenie.
Jr.
Well, you see, that's what happens when WotC is more interested in making him look cool than work on his stats.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, admittedly,
Look,
that was
what a
some
glow
really
up.
cool art.
That's
Daddy
one thing.
Vecna, go!
That's one thing I kind of saw with the tabletops or the D&D summit was that with some of the weapons changes and whatnot, they're actually going to be rebalancing monsters above CR10, and hopefully that leads into some high-end gameplay rebalancing.
I understand why they did it though, because I've never been in a campaign where anybody's level 20. It normally lasts until like you're level 12, and it's just like, well, what else do you do? Like, it's like,
Yeah, I mean, at a certain point, the characters become gods, basically, either figuratively or literally.
Yeah, and above
right.
the
And what if
tabletop's-
you don't? And what if you don't want to do that? What if you just want, just want to like chillax?
retire.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I would love if Dan got to level 14. That's obviously not happening this campaign, because this class has something really fun for his subclass, where I can make... It's a curse I can bestow on one person that I have to redo every day at the end of the day. But I can make one of two things happen. One, let's say someone's really racist against orcs. I could transform them into an orc permanently until I stop re-upping the curse. And it's an illusion, but it feels and looks 100% real. The only way to see it's an illusion is by beating my DC, and even if you see through it, it's still physically there. Or, number two, the PDF even mentions this, you could make like any doorway look like it's open, so they could just bash their face into every single door until they get wise of that. But there's so many ways you could play with that. You can make
Oh, God.
everyone look like the same person. So if they're looking for one very specific person, suddenly all people in the world look like that person to them. Or you could make like any open pit look like solid ground, and they fall into every single pitfall all across the world that they come across.
After seeing Connor play an illusion wizard, I'm just afraid of illusion wizards.
Yes, as you should be.
Because like there were so many monsters and situations that Joe Cat threw us in that Connor's like, no, I don't care. like he just did illusion and just like whoop and just like solved the encounter. I'll never forget because he's such a welcoming guy. Around encounter 9 where he did that, you heard Joe Cat just like go, God damn it. I'm just like, this guy has more gentle guitar around him than indie music, and you're just making him hate everything. I love you. Keep doing it. Make it happen. Just make it.
I just feel kind of bad because I never really played into the illusion magic that has so much, and I just never
After
really
the
touched on it
second
much.
encounter, I no longer gave a shit. I was wheezing every time.
Okay, well,
I was just like, prank him, John. Like,
I can just see you going.
Well, yeah,
every time it was going on.
we've got everyone back now, so we might as well hop back on in.
Yep. So, as you guys are standing outside of Wakanga's villa, the rest of the day is yours. What would you like to do?
Well, first we have to trek Henrietta all the way to the other end of the city. Again.
It's like a parade with exactly one float.
And a carriage.
Yeah.
Enoch's just gonna look at the carriage disappointed now. I thought I was gonna get a whole lot more use out of this.
Ooh.
Oh well, I can probably use this to make a fence or something when we get there. It'll be a very big fence.
A fence for the doghouse.
ah, yes. My dog fence.
I mean, maybe we could make it into a little herb garden on the side of Henrietta, so I can have potion components.
That's for if we decide to leave again, Dan. We're basically putting down roots here until we can start taking back Omu, so...
That's true.
Alright.
Let's...
So as you make your way, and you kind of pass this as you make your way into Nyanzaru eventually, you see there's a bunch of large stables that are scattered about on the various points of the Teriyuki acreage. And why the heck is that doing that again? There you go. Along the coast, there's like a giant pile of shrub that's just sitting about right here. I just like to think that Henrietta just kind of finds that spot and she kind of does that thing where she just kind of stops around the brush. Stop, like a dog circling around, making her bed.
Yes.
And then she just
absolutely.
parks herself right there.
Alright. Time to go into cognito mode, though. Everyone's seen you in this form. I don't know if that's going to have any effect. And it's basically going to command her to dig herself down so she looks like a normal hut until we're ready to go.
You mean until the door opens and it's a tongue?
I mean, it looks like a rug.
Yeah. As you're all just look at Henrietta, just starts digging. She kind of tosses up a lot of the dirt. It actually goes over the side of the cliff. It just tumbles off the cliff into the ocean.
There's one guy heading out to like do fishing, and suddenly there's a whole mass of dirt in his boat.
I'm just imagining Mole from frickin' Atlantis
Yeah.
when he digs into the pot.
Incognito, more like indognito.
Yep.
Ah.
And as soon as she's in and the cart is unattached, Enoch's just going to use one of his spells, and he's going to fabricate, and he's going to make a big fence that has a sign on it that reads, "Dog ahead, beware," and then under it'll say, "Pray Shanti."
I just like to imagine it's like, oh yeah, beware of dog, pray Shanti. But yeah, you use your fabricate on the carriage, and you make yourself a nice fence that wraps around Henrietta, and as well as the site.
And then
Which
Enoch will look
says-
to the kids and be like, okay, kids, unless you got one of us, you can't go beyond the fence, okay? But you can play around here. Just be careful at the cliff.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
just imagining Wick right now, just like Wick was around, just click dragging themselves toward the bush, like just toward the cliff, just like okay.
We are so lucky our kids are better behaved.
Yes,
Surprisingly.
absolutely, 100%.
What cliff?
Because that we could have 3 more of that.
Well, thank God none of them know Commune of Nature yet, because like Wick would pop up and be like, "Do chaos."
We could
It-
already be
you're
over the
worth
cliff
it.
edge and say
Yeah.
what cliff.
Not what cliff, more like yay cliff.
Whee, time to take a dive.
Oh boy,
Wait.
swimming lessons.
Wick just looks at Tire Bang going, "Bet you I can dive faster than you can." You're on. Just move them off the cliff.
All right, well, does anyone want to go into town? That feels so weird to say at this point.
I would. I think we have some stuff we gotta get rid of. And I would very much like to get an alchemist kit back so I can make potions and whatnot.
Elise holds up her giant bag of animal parts.
I will look toward. Yeah. Elise is like, I have so many fucking trophies.
Well, to be fair, most of it's probably decayed at this point, but I mean, there's some of it that's probably still usable.
It's a
you do
magical
have
creature;
your,
it'll keep longer.
you do have like your hides and mounted heads and your claws and
I mean, I posted the list in the chat a while back, so it's probably still there.
yep.
All right,
I'll
and then
look toward the royals.
they're back at the other
Whoa.
house.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
they're
are.
at Wakanga's.
Damn it! Because I was gonna ask them if they were gonna be fine for me to go ahead and wander into town with.
I take it since they're away, you already have their permission.
Yep,
Yeah.
I'm already answered. So
You're
bada
your
bing.
own cow now.
Well, think
You
of
can
it
go
this
right
way.
to
I'm my own cow now.
Think of it this way: the only one they wouldn't want to leave would be me.
That's true.
Yeah.
Then I would look at the rest of you. I need to write these letters. I'll join you guys in a bit.
All right, I'm going to the moneylender.
Very
I
well.
gotta go sell off all this stuff for our like communal pot. Then I gotta split it up for everybody. But yeah, that's where I'm headed. Anyone want to come with?
I've got
If
these
you're gonna
sapphire
be doing
cords.
that, then Zeno would hand you all the 350 gold gems, the snake bracelet, all the different gems that they have.
Yeah, if you just post that in the Discord, it'll be much easier than me trying to type it up all now on the fly. Because I have the ones that like we basically at some point just said just hold them all together because we're not doing anything with them.
Oh, 1 second.
And then I've got my separate stuff, I think. Because I still have the sapphire cords from the genie that I was holding on to specifically. And then I've got my 5 gems that I gotta crack down. But I'll just... I mean, I suppose I could divide that with everyone.
I mean, if you were keeping it in your own pack, that's fine. I mean, I've got for what would be communal stuff 550 gold moonstones and 4 gems worth 250 gold apiece.
Okay.
So that's about 1,250 gold to split among the 6 of us.
Here's what I have.
I also have these 4 hallucinogenic fluid vials that I could peddle off, unless anybody wants to go on a trip later. I mean, we technically could, on a day off, just down whatever this mystery fluid is and see what happens.
If Dan pointed that out in character, Enoch would just look at Dan, we are parents now. We do not get days off.
That's true. I'll sell this so I can make 100% certain the children don't get access to them. Whoever else wants to use them can use them.
All right. Well then. Oh, who's all going into town? Just heads up. Just to know.
Me.
I will.
I'll go with you.
Rue just kind of shrugs. Sure, I can get lost.
I can get lost. I can get lost as well. That'd be fun.
I mean,
All right.
I can find both of you in the worst case scenario.
I'll
Dave,
meet
just-
you guys at the bar, I guess. Which one are we going to?
I will go to whichever one it's easier to pay for beer. So probably the Thunder and Lizard. Was that it?
I think that was it, yeah.
Thundering Lizard was the cheaper tavern.
Yeah.
All right. And Dave just kind of chimes in. Well, I guess someone else can stay and keep an eye on the kids if need be. As he just kind of sheepishly raises his hand.
Thank you, Dave.
You're welcome. I
You
mean,
honor
I've
us,
got
Dave.
nothing better to do. Maybe, I guess. As he just kind of sheepishly just kind of goes over and goes behind the gate.
Those kids are gonna devour you alive.
Listen, Enoch knew there was no point putting a lock on that gate. All three
Don't
of them can do knock once a day.
Yeah.
Put 4 locks on the gate, forehead.
Hey guys, I wonder what happens if we cast knock at the same time.
Don't do
Just
that.
part-
Ariel
just-
will explode.
Just part of a
Damn it,
wall explodes.
Well, no, the best part about the lock spell is why it's not overpowered, is that whenever you use it, you can be heard from over 100 feet away.
Yeah. We're just in town when suddenly you hear BOOM! 3 consecutive times.
All right, so we head into town. So from the looks of it, you tell us how much we're getting, because I know from my thing it's 1,250 gold. Then from whatever DeLuna has there, Milla.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think. Those gems were.
So I put in my inventory my specific gems. They were each worth 50 GP for a total of 250.
Mhm.
And then the sapphire cords were 1,250 GP per. So that was 2,500 from that alone.
And that'd be
Yes.
2,500 from what I have, so that's 5,000 gold total. Then we just figure out the stuff from DeLuna's, and then we split it up.
Yeah, the gold snake. I was trying to remember what those other gems were. If those were.
I know they're not super expensive. I think they're on the table.
I think there might have been like 10 gold.
So
Yeah,
they're-
I think those are the 10 gold gems. So that's 10, 20, 60, 70, plus 150. That's 220. That gold bracelet. I think that was the one in Mangalore? Let me just double check and look that up real quick. Mangalore. Treasure. Oh, wait. I wish I would have kept an eye on that, but. But yeah, while we're trying to figure out that, so. 20. I think that I set the snake gold bracelet was, I think, like 250. That sounds right.
Sounds fair enough. We're already getting over 5,000 gold.
Yeah.
Yep.
By the
so
way, if anyone needs
250
it,
plus 220, that would be 400 and.
I found this coin converter, D&D coin converter, if anyone wants to convert anything to anything else.
And actually, now that you mention, a lot of the people are finding this out as of late. Actually, a real good thing to do, to help for converses, is actually converting that gold value into gems, because gems are actually very light.
Yes, but we also have a bag of holding.
Also true.
which can hold up to 500 pounds.
And most of the stuff that's currently in our bag of holding is not very heavy.
Fair. Alright, so get all that stuff converted. Let's see, 5,470. Just from those bits that you've posted.
While this is happening, Enoch's just going to be playing with the staff, not knowing what it does. Huh. Then all of a sudden it'll start to glow as lines kind of like trace up his arm and onto the staff. And then they just flow back into him. What? Enoch just got one spell slot back because that's the entire point of this staff for warlocks.
Ah, yes. It's a shorter rod more than it is a staff, so it's like a 3 foot rod.
I didn't see where I was looking for the thing. It only just gave the basics for it, so it just gives me the ability to get a spell back once every long rest, as well as increases my spell save and spell attack by 2.
Yeah.
Which were the more important things.
Alright, so you find your merch just to pawn that stuff off. Is there anything else that you guys wish to purchase? And
I want an alchemist's kit, dang it. Or alchemist supplies. I need it.
Alright, let's see. Herbalism. And I think you wanted the herbalism kit too, right?
I think I still had my herbalism kit. That didn't get destroyed.
Alright. Alright, and alchemist supplies. Considering the nature of that, you find some of the various merchants. You are able to find one that's, because the prices are a little higher here, 75 gold pieces for alchemist supplies.
Also, I did the math. Everyone gets basically 911 gold.
Okay.
911.
Okay. I think I may have goofed this up then. So that's 25, that was 1,500.
And Enoch will probably spend just a pittance, really, to buy several sets of clothes for all the kids.
Alright, yep, so you get some commoner's clothes. Should be real easy to get those.
1,000. And how much did you say it was for everyone? 110?
911.
911. Okay, 911. Got it. Boop.
Those commoner. Yeah, so that would be 15 silver for 3 sets of clothes.
9, 6,
Just fine.
minus 75 for my supplies. And that's not including anything that I'd be crafting. Now that I finally have my supplies.
You've got alchemy, all this chemistry, all night long.
Now I can finally teach my son potion making and / or bug salve making, depending on if we need it.
I mean, Dan, Enoch will reach into his pack, pull out one of the big-ass gourds. I think we're still good.
I mean, I have 7, but I can make like 20 more uses in 3 days' time.
Well, I've got 23 uses still, because, you know, start having less skin.
Alright. So that was for Enoch and for Dan. Does anybody else want anything out of that group? As you kind of make your way over to the Red Bazaar, which is at the kind of the southern part of the market board. Which you would remember that the Red Market is actually not that far off from the Thundering Lizard.
Tyron
No,
Bane,
Rude.
oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say Rue's just looking really uncertain at her money, and then just all of the stuff around.
Yeah, you just see there's like stalls light up as far as the eye can see. There's everything from colorful clothes to plants to various small art pieces. There's a lot of things that you could possibly browse through.
You guys would dare say she almost looks a little overwhelmed.
Are you feeling all right?
She just kind of wrings her staff. There's a lot of people.
Yes, there's so many more people here than this, yeah.
Yeah, I felt that way when I came here too the first time.
Aim.
I hate
Yellow.
it.
You hate it.
Elise sneezes.
Maybe we should find somewhere quieter.
Well, there is a tavern that we stayed at last time we were here that was a pretty quiet place.
True.
It's not like Thundering Lizard that's all boisterous.
I mean, I think it's better to wean them on to, like, proper taverns, like going to an easy one first than a more typical one. So yeah, let's head to the House of Repose. How's that sound?
All
My
right.
head's starting to spin from all the smells around here.
Love game, please tell Zeno that you're gonna change the location.
I mean,
Apropos of nothing, I should probably send a message to Zeno to let him
it's just
know.
the gif of that one dude just looking around is just like, what?
Where the
Where
fuck
are
are they?
yeah, it's like that image of John Travolta from Pulp Fiction.
Yeah,
just looking around,
yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna use a sending spell to let Zeno know where to go.
Yeah, while he's doing that, Enoch will just, like, lead towards the House of Repose and, like point out things like, hey, if you want some, like, jewelry, you want some nice clothes, there's street food here, that looks pretty tasty. Don't buy the flying monkey, please, no, we have enough things to worry about.
Looking curiously at the flying monkey.
Oh yeah, there's a vendor out there that yeah, you just see he has what does he have? He has one flying monkey that's on a leash.
What is that?
I know you've seen monkeys, Tyron Bane.
Well, not one with wings.
I mean, yeah, that's basically what it is. Imagine how confused I was. I'd never seen a monkey before. I thought they all had wings until, like, we got into the jungle.
Strange.
Okay. Very important question. Does the monkey look healthy?
I'll allow you a nature or medicine check.
Well, okay. The outcome
There's
is probably going to be the
answers.
same, all the same, but
I thought that was a drunken hallucination Trailing said.
Yeah, as you're looking over the monkey, Rue, just kind of give it a close inspection. The monkey just kind of is tied to a T-shaped perch, as it's just kind of looking over. You see it snacking on a small piece of fruit, and yeah, he's definitely looks very healthy, borderline chunky.
Chunky
Chunky
monkey.
monkey.
Chunky monkey.
We went to the same place, right? Just chunky monkey.
Is this,
she points at the monkey. How much?
Oh, yes, 100 gold for the monkey.
Done.
is this the guy whose table I stabbed?
Oh, that's right.
Meanwhile, the second she buys the monkey, you just hear the clang. We all know the one.
No,
yes.
just wait for it. Just be patient.
All right, you. Yeah, this merchant. I believe it was she. Yeah, she hands you the leash, and you have a flying monkey.
She Rue undoes the leash, perches it on her arm. Be free.
Hey, you bought it. You can do whatever the hell you want with it now.
I'm just imagining though. This is a domesticated flying monkey.
So, just so I can
Just-
so everyone can hear it. Zeno, or Dan would hear, and Zeno would hear Dan's voice in his head. No, that makes sense. Thanks for letting me know. I would have been kind of pissed if I went to the other tavern and no one was there.
So that got cut off at no one because that's 25 I counted.
Okay, so, as the monkey sits on your shoulder and you're like, be free, it just kind of looks at you and just keeps chomping out the fruit that it was eating.
Fair
It
enough.
kind of
we can
looks
figure
up at it, tilts its head. It kind of reaches out, grabs your hair, sees a bug that was in your hair, and just eats the bug.
it out. Very well, you can make your choices. You're coming with me. That said, she does still toss the leash over her shoulder.
This is my monkey now.
New pet acquired.
Yes, this is my monkey Bubbles.
Enoch just sighs.
Perfect.
Whatever, it's her money. It's her money. Okay, come on, let's just keep going. If you see anything else you want to buy, we can talk about it. Hopefully, okay, let's just go.
You just look
All
back.
right.
She's collected 2 monkeys, 4 birds, a small dinosaur.
Like,
Crocodile she got somewhere.
Become as a Disney princess.
God, I would love Rue as a Disney princess. Just they're all just so bright
Oh,
and
yeah.
bubbly, and she's the most deadpan one going high.
Oh no! The worst part is I just imagined like Rue as a Disney princess. Behind her are like the sidekicks. You're the moose from Frozen, and that just makes. Am I like what's his face Hans or am I Olaf?
I don't think you're happy
actually,
enough
it
to
wasn't
be
a moose.
Olaf.
It was a reindeer.
I'm sorry, I'm not an appropriate Disney weeb.
Alright. So. Alright, so you have the flying monkey as you guys go to make your way around.
Oh wait.
Zeno, you said you were just gonna be working on writing up your paper or flying birds, yes? Or your paper birds, yes?
Yes. So, like, actually, around this time, like, Zeno would be finished with all 4 of them, or with all 3 of them that he had to write up.
Yep.
And,
And as you begin to fold them off, you name off the recipients for the various letters, and they all fold into origami birds, and they take off into the sky.
yep, one of them's going to his girlfriend, one of them's going to his friend Rhodey, and one of them's going to his friend Demarius.
All right. And after you write up the birds, what do you do?
And he starts making his way over to the House of Repose.
All right. And as you go to do that, Elise, what are you up to?
At some point she would try to find like a hunter's outpost to trade off all of her shit.
Yep. You would detour off right away because you have the various stables that are strewn about, and you kind of make your way around there. Let's see. That begs the question: how much would they ask for your wares? Let me go ahead and double check.
The list is up top.
Oh,
I would probably still keep the snake longbow because trophy, and the meat is probably at this point we've probably used it for rations, so I probably would write it off. And I think I gave the gems that are on the list to Kawasha. And then the braces of archery I would keep, obviously, so everything else would be up for fair game.
Alright, already notes. What was it? There's the list, I see. Alright. Well, let's see. We'll say your axe beak. The talons. Actually, the axe beaks are gonna be. Oh, we'll say 5 gold apiece for each of those. So that's 10. As. Actually, hold on. Let me. As this merchant you're doing business with begins to pull out an abacus, it slides over. Let's see, we'll do 10 gold total for the axe beaks. We'll do 5 silver. Let's see, and that. Then for the talents, we'll figure about let's do 2 silver for each of those. So that would be another gold on top of that. And then for the jaguar pelt, that's decent shape. We'll do 10 gold for that. For the raptor teeth, those look very decent. We'll do 1 silver a piece, so we'll say 14 silver for that, which will put us at 23.1. Then for the raptor talons, I'll just get you, we'll say 8 gold for each of those. Then for the raptor claws, we'll say we'll say 15 silver for those. Boar pelt, that's a reasonably big boar pelt. We could do 3 gold for that. Then the tusks, those are some very nice looking tusks. We could give 5 gold for each of those, so that's another 10. And this, as the process kind of drags on, ooh, the raptor pelts. Probably 5 gold each for those, so that's another 15. Oh, that's interesting. The striders, talons. Those are. We'll just do a gold each for those. Oh, those are some nice looking feathers there. Those could actually work very well as ink quills, so I could probably offer you 3 gold each for those. So that'll be 8 plus 18 there.
Quite the beast that they came off of. I don't know if you've ever heard of the King of Feathers.
Sounds like a very terrifying beast.
Just imagine a T-Rex that breeds bees.
Tell you what, as you're kind of arguing this, roll a persuasion check for me. For bartering, as you're kind of bartering with this.
9.
9.
You know what? Screw it. I'll use my inspiration.
Okay.
Fuck.
The offer stands.
She gives a look of like, I don't believe you.
There still are very nice feathers. My original offer will still stand. As well as, oh, look at this, as you pull out the tooth from the King of Feathers. Well, that is quite a bit of ivory on that. We'll say, I'll give you 20 for that. And then, let's see, then he kind of looks over at the snake head. I could give you 3 gold for that. That can work out. So, as far as your animal wares, unfortunately, I can't do anything about the poison or whatever is in that. It kind of points at the file that you have out there.
Oh, the troll fat vial.
Yes. You might want to talk to Emerza about that. Perhaps she might have a use for those. Or perhaps one of her agents. However, for everything else that you have on there, at least for the animal parts, 97 gold and 6 silver? Does that sound fair?
Rounded up to 98.
Persuasion check.
Hopefully this one's better. Ah.
Oh no. Or we could just round it down, you know, for she kind of looks at the abacus. 97.
I was going to give a tip anyways. 97 is fine.
All right, so you get 97 gold in exchange for all of those parts.
All right, so it sounds like we're headed to the House of Repose now.
All right. Well, in the meantime,
I realized
once you get that taken care of, what else do you want to do, Elise?
The person she mentioned, was that like an alchemist or?
Well, you remember in your conversations that Emerza is the new trade prince of plants and poisons?
Oh, yeah. Probably something for her to do later. She'll go meet up with the group then.
All right. If I recall correctly, the original agreement was for you all to meet at the Thundering Lizard, but the rest of the party had, since you're kind of separated off, I don't think they would have passed on the information for you to meet at Kara's House of Repose.
That's
I
a
could
Dan
also
thing.
I could send out another spell for that. Also, before I do another sending, I realized I also need to rebuy a poisoner's kit, and I'd like to buy a witch's hat. How much would that be really quick to deduct from everything before I send
Okay. So for a poisoner's kit...
Dan doesn't really have much in the way of clothes right now.
Yeah,
True.
you still have a lot of the hides that you acquisitioned from... It was between either the orcs that came out of the Mechanist closet or the... like some of the other pelts that you traded with the Minotaurs.
Yeah, right now I'm currently in pelts, huh? So I'd probably get a witch's hat, and I'm also going to get more clothes, something similar to what he did originally have.
Okay. If you look around, you do find you would have to go to find one of the Emerza's agents. Poisoner's kit would be 100 gold in this case.
Right?
And for a set of traveler's clothes, which would include a witch's hat in this set, that would be 3 gold for that.
Okay, easy enough.
you find an import clothing stall as you looking around. Yeah, some very nice looking traveler's clothes and a witch's hat.
Here we go. So he will. I'm gonna imagine they have a changing room for him to properly get dressed in.
Let's
Or
see.
just carry it with him, I guess, for the time being.
Yeah, they have kind of like a small booth-shaped tent that you could change your clothes in.
Alright. So then Dan is going to get properly dressed. And I'm going to send out that sending message. It's basically going to be the same message he shot to Zeno, just with the name changed.
All right.
After Dan rejoins the group and looks at me, just goes, "Do you realize if you just gave me fabric, I could have just made that and saved you like a bunch of money?"
I mean, this wasn't all that expensive. So, I mean, I don't mind spending the money at this point, but you're right, I probably could have just gotten... Huh.
He gestures to the 3 sets of clothes he got each of the kids. I was like, this was 15 gold. Not 15 gold, this was 15 silver. You got swindled, but whatever. I want to show them a tavern, and then I also want to start drinking. So let's just keep on moving.
Alright.
We don't have to roleplay this, Milla, but do we see any more animals in cages being sold?
Let's see. You do see some birds and some like iguanas for sale.
She is doing literally the exact same thing that she did with the monkey until she has no more money.
Okay.
So if you literally just want to give me a price.
On your way, you find 5 other merchants that are selling like macaws and very nice looking birds. That's another 500 gold.
Cool.
Rue is this close to having a jungle glade.
I just want to imagine that they all, because they're domesticated, are all just hanging on Rue, and Enoch just following behind, just like... just saying to himself, we just got rid of like 10 mouths to feed, and she's already got 5 new... You know what? No. It's good. The kids will have pets. The kids will
I
have pets.
swear, Rue is as bad as my sister. Like, I'll come and visit her. I'm like, where did these insert number higher than 3 animals come from?
Don't understand. They needed a home.
Oh my god, dude, the stories I could tell.
So as you go to release the birds and the lizards, the only thing that's left after all that exchange is there's a blue macaw that is one of the other birds that have stayed behind. So you have a macaw on one shoulder and you have a flying monkey on the other.
Excellent.
And then 2 lizards popping out of her collar.
Pretty much.
Of course. Licky and unnamed druidic lizard. Alright, and as you guys continue your way on down, as it's getting closer to dusk at this point, you find yourself in front of Kara's House of Repose.
We're here.
Yes, welcome to a tavern. You remember the big, like, hall where you had our feast back at your village?
Yes.
This is kind of like a communal place for people to come and trade money for alcohol so they can relax and sometimes meet people and do stuff like that.
Oh, I see. And they talk about tales of their glories and slayings and whatnot like that.
I mean, I wouldn't know. I wasn't old enough to actually go inside taverns when I first, like, until recently, really. And then I only talked to, and then he gestures at, like, Dan, Elise. Well, no, it'd just be Dan at this point, because the other 2 aren't here yet.
Oh, well, we'll discover this more together then.
Yeah.
So many people were bumping into me.
I mean, to be fair, most of them were probably craning their head up just to get a look at you and then just weren't watching where they were going.
I felt something at my belt, but then I looked down and I said hello, and they yelled and ran off. So many weird people in this town.
Also, I've realized as you're kind of making your way into it, I've been mispronouncing it this whole time. It's Kaya's House of Repose, but yeah. As you're making your way in, there's as you're making your way in, it's still pretty quiet for the number of people that are just kind of filing in, and as Enoch, you make your way in, you kind of look around, you see there are 2 tabaxi that are sitting in a booth that's off in the corner, as well as you're kind of pondering and thinking about it for a little bit, I want you to roll a perception check for me real quick.
Oh boy. $16.
As you're kind of looking around a little bit, you see a pair of other figures that are over in another part of the tavern. As you see a pair of cloaks, as you kind of look over, one of them kind of has a reptilian-looking face. And then everybody kind of stops, and you kind of stop at the same time. You pick up the smell of brimstone, and then lemons. As you see the figure in the other cloak go to wave you over. What? As the other figure kind of goes and turns around.
Yeah.
You recognize.
Yeah, I know exactly who it is, which is why Enoch is going to reach over with Mage Hand, grab Dan, and pull him towards me. Very quickly.
And you pick up the smell of lemons as you get closer, Dan.
Dan, would you be so kind as to show Tyrant Bane and Rue to the bar? I see some people who I remember from the last time we stayed here, and I have to go talk to them.
Sure.
Here's a question above game. Would I be there by now? Like,
Yeah, as you're kind of going and grabbing and Zeno and Rur, you arrive and join the party at this time.
To keep me into these, but yeah.
Oh yes, that's what I meant. Zeno and Elise. Thank you.
Rue,
for
you
correcting
blink
me.
out
I
of
can't let-
existence
well,
for a moment and then come back.
Just
Well, no, she had to get new art of her covered in animals.
Nice.
Yes.
But yeah, Enoch will just be like, yeah, just take them over to the bar. I'll be right back. As soon as I get over there, what are you guys doing in a populated city?
Well, that's a funny way of saying it's good to see you again.
Considering the last time we met, that was not exactly good.
Well, I still have to thank you properly for that, by the way. As, yeah, you recognize this as you get a better look. Yep, this is Artisan Dragonbait.
Well, looks like you managed to stay away from the frost giants. That's a good thing.
Among several other things. Have you ever had to run away from an undead Tyrannosaurus in the jungle?
Yes.
Well, that makes 2 of us then, I guess.
Yeah, we fought a lot of undead dinosaurs. And then we fought an actual dinosaur that breathed bees. It was horrible.
Really?
Yeah. We spent a lot of time in Omu. Speaking of which, don't go to Omu.
Huh.
At least not yet.
I mean, so far, Enoch's having this conversation alone.
Well.
But yeah.
So, as soon as you get the rest of your companions over here, I've actually been looking for you. I've been hoping I can get you to do something for me.
Oh, joy.
Exclamation point!
Enoch just thinking to himself, I forgot the city. I should have picked up a bunch of stones.
It's a callback.
Hell of a
Fine.
callback.
Fine. Don't worry. But before we agree to anything, you're buying drinks, and he'll immediately turn to the bartender. Bartender, 4 ales, and then whatever the rest of my party wants.
That's only fair, I guess.
Oh, in that case, your finest whiskey, please.
Sure, I'll get him over to you in a minute. It's a grizzled old man who's kind of working at the bar at this point.
Fruity
Dad.
drinks do you have?
We've got wine, we've got tej, we've got ale.
I have a
We
Tej.
also have whiskey.
Why not?
All right, got tej. And for you two, he kind of points over to Rue and Tyrant Bane.
Fine.
All right.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take an ale. Absolutely.
Very well.
Wine makes my head spinny.
I wish it did something like that for me. It just does nothing at this point. But out of back in character, Enoch will be like, he'll take the first of the 4 ales that he ordered, down it, and then just be like, "Okay, Rue, Tyrant Bane, you haven't met. Meet Artist Simber and Dragonbait, right?"
Yes, this is my companion, the Dragonbait. And
Remember-
you just get the smell of wood smoke as he, and you all get that smell of wood smoke, which for you, Tyrant Bane in particular, is strange.
Then I would look at the two of them. I honestly thought we would never see you again.
Yes, it's fun to pretend.
But yeah, Rue, Tyrant Bane. Remember how we said that we survived another lich before meeting you?
Yes.
Yes, I found it weird that you'd bump into one and not another.
Yeah. Well, when we bumped into her, these two were in a cage, and she had various plans for them.
That's putting it mildly, yeah.
Yeah, no doubt she was probably trying to go after my ring. And you just gotta see him instinctively put his hand over his fist. Tyrant Bane, I'll allow you a quick perception check real quick.
Yay! Okay, hold on. First. Nat 20.
Nat 20. As you get a good look at it as he goes to instinctively cover it, it's a gold-looking ring, like a simple gold band, but the thing that struck out to you the most is that cascading over the top of the band, it looks like you just see ripples and bands of frost just covering around the outside of this ring.
I've never seen a ring do that before. Was that crystal? I don't think it snows here, so...
I don't think Tyrant Bane's ever known
what snow is.
Mm-hmm. So, and you can vouch for these two. I don't think we've ever met. As he just kind of motions towards Rue and Tyrant Bane.
Anything you can say in front of us, you can say in front of them. We trust them with our lives.
I'm Tyrant Bane of Omu, of the Sunblades of Napaka. Seriously, was that crystal? Like, he's just like, just all about the...
It's frost.
Frost?
You know, ice. Cold.
Tyrant Bane's only from Chult. I don't think he's ever been anywhere where it gets cold enough for there to be frost.
Rue just kind of like lifts her hand in front of Tyrant Bane, and she just kind of she casts Druidcraft and just makes little snow flurries.
You're gonna see his eyes just widen as he just stares at it going, oh, that's beautiful.
And a little bit cold. And she'll just kind of blow the flurries at him.
Have you seen this cold before?
Yeah.
Rare. Mm-hmm. Admittedly, most of my life has been in the jungle, but I have had my travels.
Amazing. Like he's just giving Dragon Bait and Rube a look of like, you are so cool.
So, to get to the matters at hand.
He can cut a lich in half and he's just excited about snow.
Oh god, he's channeling his inner Harkov.
I love snow.
So, artist kind of goes and kind of leads it a little closer. Well, a little bit more disclosure, for at least for some of your newer companions. I've been spending quite a bit of my time trying to scour the jungles of Chult for a very specific reason.
Bless you.
Thank you.
I have been trying to search for
Bless you.
I tried to mute and I sneezed in my finger, Miz. What did I click on? Oh no! Everything's gone!
Oh no!
Oh! Okay, it's back. Okay, that was scary.
When he saw how you blink out of existence, he cast Bashment on himself. And then comes back. As artist guy takes a moment. Bless you, friend. he
full on cow. Is it?
I've been looking for answers for quite some time. In
Regarding?
particular of my home. I'm sure you might have heard about it. Mesro.
Can we roll like a general intelligence check to see if we remember it?
Sure. Or a history check.
Does sound familiar.
No.
History.
Oh, wow.
24.
I have no idea. Zeno didn't pay attention in geometry.
That's history.
So, Enoch, you remembered as you were making your way through the map, you remembered that I believe Kawasha and Shago had mentioned the possibility of traveling around Mesro, which was ruins? Dan, you've heard of some other rumors that supposedly during the events of the Spell Plague, where all magic was, supposedly stopped and consumed, supposedly Mesra was caught up in that for whatever reason you're not exactly sure.
I think I read about Mesra when we were at Cristobal. It got caught up in something with the spell plague, but I don't quite remember much more than that.
Also, you said it was your home. Excuse me if I say you don't seem exactly native.
Well, originally, no, but so many things I need to keep in touch with you. Well, that was quite a long time ago when those events had supposedly happened, and Mesro, which was my home, had disappeared, and I've been trying to look into ways in order to bring that back, which leads me to why I've been looking for you. Truth be told, I've been trying to meet with someone, but in the process of me trying to deal with agents of the Centaurum and the Harpers, I haven't had an opportune chance to meet with them.
Those are some real proper nouns you're throwing out there.
Well, the Centaurum around here are typically thugs that you see. Real shady types. Sometimes they're in the employ of some of the trained princes around here. And Well, let's just say that at one point I used to work with the Harpers. But I've been looking into rumors of something that's called the Heart of the Wild. And in particular, there's an old Chultan sage I've been trying to meet up with called Wainwrath. He tends to know a lot more of it, but if you could head to his village and look into it for me, I'd be willing to give you 250 gold each if you were to see if he could tell you what he knows about it.
So above game, Mila, I love you, but this is a hard pass from Enoch. We got enough on our plates.
I was gonna say too, like probably a no for Zeno as well.
I'd love to help you. However, there's a lot of things affecting my home right
That could be a under epilogue quest.
Let's do an after.
Yeah, artists, I feel for you. Normally we might want to help you, but there's currently a Yaun-ti army forming that we're having to deal with at the moment.
Not only that, but we have a couple of people here that between us, we don't want getting out that they're here.
I see. As he just kind of sighs to himself. Well,
if you find yourself traveling to Hestia, people of my tribe would be able to help you there. We do need a force to repel off the Yaun-ti, but perhaps the commander might be able to go ahead and assist you.
Actually, hey, how time sensitive is your issue, artists?
well, if you have other matters to attend to before, if you want to do it, I suppose I could wait.
Yeah, we might also need you and your ring for help later. There's gonna be a lot of fighting, and I'm gonna be quite honest, I remember what you could do with that thing.
I'll see what I can do, but again, considering I tend to want to lay low here, I can't make any certain promises, but...
I mean, that's
Lay low.
fine. Even if you leave the city, we can get a...
I saved your life.
Oh, fuck!
Meanwhile, it'll be fine. Enoch will just look at Dan. Don't worry, we can get in touch.
And we'll salute. Yeah, no, I have my ways of communicating.
Perhaps if we were to talk to Wistrate at some point. They are quite knowledgeable about Chult, too.
I mean, if you need a guide, we can recommend a few, though I'm pretty sure at this point they're going to be taking a vacation.
Well, I at least know where Wistrate's at. I can show you if you still got that. If you have a map.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Alright. Pull out the map.
Fallout style, yes, give us this quest. We'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll on it eventually.
Enoch, did you just rope us into another quest?
It
No.
can just be an off-camera quest. It's fine.
Dang.
Let's see.
No one has any
was it
stones.
this map or was it... I think it was it.
Well, Mesro's right here, so I assume whatever,
Yeah, there's also those pirates by the bay.
Dear Lord, we would annihilate them in 2 turns.
Oh, we absolutely would. That'd be a nice fast one if we wanted to go all the way down there for some reason.
Like, the only thing in the water that could hurt us is literally the dragon tortoise.
Yeah.
I got a sunblade. Just give up. Just pack it in.
All right, you're a bunch of big scary pirates. Counter argument.
Counter argument. We have a druid, so they can literally just take control water and open a whirlpool under their ship.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck! They can do that.
They can do that, yeah.
Yeah, they can do that.
Rue is high level enough to actually have that spell.
That's God. Yeah, no, I was just saying I'm 7'2" and 420 pounds of beef. Go F yourself. Like
Listen, druids and nautical campaigns are broken.
Anyway, it's the name of the village is. I have to grab the notes here. You are looking for Tamalka Village. It's right on the edge of the Mistcliff Mountains. Right over, and he kind of puts his map right down here.
Oh, now I see why you want us to do this, Enoch will say as he looks at the other circle over here. You don't want to get found by the frost giants.
Well, they are another threat, yes, but like I said, I also have them, which, you know, I'm in the city. Frost giants will attack the city, but like I told you, I've got the Zeds and the Harpers also breathing down my back.
why are musicians chasing after you?
Let's put it this way. I'll forgive your lack of knowledge on this, my friend, but the Harpers are an organization that believe in balance of all things. Political balance, natural balance, balance of power. Basically, they don't want abuses of power in any sort. And if there's anything that upsets that, they try and work to correct that in a sense. They would argue that this, as he kind of holds up his hand and you get a good look at his ring again, they've been after me ever since I left. And they want this. Now what they want to do with the ring is, that's really an open question, to be honest.
It seems strange that they'd be after you over such a beautiful ring.
Oh, it does a lot more than just look pretty.
It's a powerful artifact that I need to make sure it doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
Tyrant Bane will look at Enoch. Why would it? And his face falls. It's magic.
Yeah. So here's the thing. What Rue showed you is just kind of like calm winter.
Mm-hmm.
Winter often kills a lot of people every year. That's pretty much all that ring is made of.
Huh. So it's kind of like the jungle in that regard.
Yeah, but I would take the jungle over dying of cold any day.
I mean, let me put it to you this way, Tyrant Bane. The cold can kill the vegetation that exists in the jungle. Plants survive in nice, humid, warm climates where they can get sun and water. The snow and ice that comes from winter, or in this case, that ring, freezes them completely over and makes them fragile, brittle. They can't properly photosynthesize, getting energy from the sun, and even though it is water that covers them, it's too cold for them to exist.
I see. But surely there must be things that thrive in the cold.
Oh, there are, mostly animals. But sadly, plants, Terrabane, you'll hear a noticeable choke up in Zeno's voice when he says that. They, not so much.
That
There
thing
might
must be well
be-
protected then, and I
Mm.
guess I take it that you're protecting it from the Harpers.
Yes.
A ring that powerful really should be this quote unquote lost in the jungle, never to be found again, because in the wrong hands, it could fuck a lot of stuff over.
Well,
Well, we've
that's
seen-
where we're at an impasse on that, my friend, because I need to have this ring on hand in order to, like I said, keep it out of the wrong hands, but I also need it to further my own goals for trying to find Mesro and my beloved in the process.
If it's too sensitive, you don't need to tell me. But why would such a ring help you in that? Is it for the power it might have?
Well, let me give you a nice little tidbit for why I need the ring.
Okay.
He kind of turns to you, Dan. Mesro did disappear on the spell plague, yes, but let me ask you a question with another question. How long ago was that?
Correct me if I'm wrong. That was like several centuries ago. Like, I don't remember exactly how many off the top of my head. Could I roll history to
Yeah. Oh, history check.
18?
That was approximately 2,000 years ago.
That was about 2,000 years ago, if I'm remembering correctly, from my research.
He kind of does the thing where he kind of just holds his hands over towards you. And yet here I am.
Meeting a lot of people from the past recently, I'm noticing.
Enoch, just because he's not because like he's not impressed with artists, just leans over to Rue. You've aged much better.
You see her just her smile just kind of twitch a bit.
The spell plague. I think the elders might have told stories about that. The weirding?
Well, it was a very, very long time ago. I mean, from what I read up in Curse of Ball, magic basically stopped existing in the world for a time.
I think such a thing would also affect my battle prayers, right?
Among other things, yeah.
Huh.
At this point, you kind of Dragonbait, who's been kind of setless for a while there as this whole discussion is going on, you kind of get the smell of ham coming off of him.
Do you smell food?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he does that.
He communicates via scent.
Strange. Though not unwelcome.
You know,
Why meat, though?
That's just the way he tends to do it, my friend. He has a wide range of emotions that he tends to communicate with by smell.
So do you mind
What's that?
translating?
Oh, is he hungry, maybe?
Maybe he's salty.
At that point, Enoch nearly. At that point, you see Enoch do the smile twitch.
I get it.
At this point, you just get the smell of brimstone coming off of Dragonbait.
Oh,
No.
come on, we're just having fun. We're in a pub after all.
you know, a thought occurs to me. Dan's gonna tap his helmet of telepathy. I could communicate with Dragonbait using this directly to his mind, I think. Get a clearer image, potentially. I mean, I'd have to cast the spell Detect Thoughts on him first to establish the connection, and he'd need to, accept that connection. But it is something we could do to have a more clear communication than having to translate sense, no offense.
The smell goes from brimstone to roses, and then back to ham. And then after a while, it goes to nothing.
Okay. I'm gonna take that as a give this a try. And Dan's gonna activate his Helm of Telepathy on Dragonbait to first cast Detect Thoughts and then get the telepathic messages back and forth with him. So he has to make DC 13, I believe it's Wisdom saving throw, or he could just, let me in.
Alright, let me just double check Helm of Telepathy. It's
Because-
been a
Just a
while.
Skype ringtone.
Boo, 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 doo.
I hated that sound with all my spirit.
I mean, you're also making me think about Internet Historian, who on one of his side channels, he constantly, whenever there's a phone call, just uses Discord sound effects, and I'm like, fuck, what the hell's going on with my computer? Doesn't help it's on my
Alright.
sleep playlist.
As you cast Detect Thoughts, you use your bonus action to communicate with Dragonbait. He chooses to fail, and what do you say to him?
Hey, Dragonbait, so, what is it you're trying to communicate with everyone? I'll do my best to get your message across.
Doth this work? Really?
Indeed.
Oh, what joyous day!
I no longer have to communicate in ham.
Kalu Kalay.
I chortle in my joy. As Dragonbait just thinks about it for a little bit. Normally, most of my kind can communicate via a range of vocal arrangements that normal mortals cannot hear. So normally we essentially shout our emotions through our spells.
Hey. Dan will share this with everyone.
Oh, so that's what it is.
That is interesting.
Indeed. This is significantly easier. Again, no offense.
None taken, my good friend. As I assume you would communicate that to him in your mind.
Yes.
And as you have a serious question to ponder as you begin to communicate with Dragonbait via Helm of Telepathy, a true innovation in the works of Saurian kind, that's actually a good place to leave our session for tonight.
Hey.
Hey.
Because it is kind of late.
Yep.
Yeah.
But hey, we'll figure out exactly what we're going to be doing because our schedules are going to change up a bit, so we have to figure out what we're going to do with Chult of Personality moving forward. We'll try to keep everybody posted. But with that said, let's start moving on to wrap-ups. So, Caitlin, where can people find you?
Hello, I'm Caitlin C37. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter, Caitlin C37, where I do art. Commissions are open, so if you want any paintings, you can find all the stuff there.
Lovely. Uno, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Deluna1338 and on Twitch and YouTube at Deluna13. I just posted on Sunday. There was a murder, and we needed to figure out who did it. Because I just did a full playthrough of the Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. If you want to go check that out, that was actually a wonderful game. And no stream tomorrow because it looks like I'm going to be possibly working tomorrow night, and same with Thursday. But follow my Twitter just to be double check that. Me and Draco are going to be also be working on getting a schedule for our Pokemon Heart Gold race. That's gonna be the next thing we're going to be doing, where it's going to be a randomized seed of Pokemon Heart Gold, and we're going to try to see who can beat it faster. So that's basically all I got right now.
Alrighty, Milla, where can people find you?
Well, you can't find me DMing for this lovely group of nerds. You can find me on my Twitter at MillaNinjaNerd. You can also find me occasionally streaming at twitch.tv/MillaNinja, where I have gotten into the hobby of doing build streams, specifically for my various conquest models. If you want tomorrow I think I'll probably do another stream in the interim, but if you want to hop on in, possibly learn a little bit more about the lore of Conquest, you can find me there. Also, at Monday nights, you can find me at twitch.tv/LeJake, where normally we go through Trials of Eidos through the various campaigns we do. Unless I hear differently, we might be doing like a general hangout stream. Unless one of our other players gets back, then we'll probably do Horror of the Dragon Queen proper. But aside from that, that's all it from me.
Alright, Chaka, where can people find you?
Hi, you find me here on Tuesdays playing Elise, over on Twitter at ChalcoZombie101, and also on Tuesdays over on twitch.tv/TwitchThePerson for Power Rangers Cyber Strike, where I play the Red Ranger Marika Hammond. And Deluna is also there too.
Yeah, we need to double check on that one too because of the same reason for Chult, but this should be fine.
Alrighty, well then, Draco, where can people find you?
Me on YouTube as Draco Magnus. Find me on Twitter at DMagnus, and you can find me here on Twitch at Draco_Magnus. I currently am streaming Wednesdays and Thursdays. We've decided to give me Friday off because Kingdom Hearts 2 has a lot of copyrighted music in it at the very beginning, and I had to drop that, unfortunately, for the time being, in the interest of being able to publish VODs. So, Wednesdays, I stream Majora's Mask. We're about to go up into the snowy mountains to see what's going on with the Gorons up there and find our next giant and see what the deal is with that. Thursday, our heroes of Immortal Samachia have made their way into Xander's tomb, and they managed to kill the big guardian guarding it. Now they just have to get to the actual tomb proper in the maze, but one of our players, Thud, ran directly into an animated rug, so they'll have to deal with that first. And also a mimic. Because both of those things were next to each other. It's not great for them.
Ooh. Well then, Rabbit, where can people find you?
Hey, what's going on? My name is Rabbit. I'm a writer and comedian. You can find me on Twitch. You can find me on twitch.tv/HeyMrRabbit. You can also find me on Twitter and YouTube at HeyMrRabbit. I stream RPGs, horror games, and retro games. So if that sounds like something you want to go into, I'm your one-stop shop for all that stuff. I like showing all kinds of like little-known games, and a lot of indie stuff is kind of what I like to aim for. So yeah, that's me.
Awesome, and you've already found me here at twitch.tv/BurnoutVaughn. You can find me on YouTube and Twitter at BurnoutVaughn. We've got a few irons in the fire and some streams that'll be happening here in the future, but the only thing really planned for this week would most likely be Saved by the Spell, where, we are finally just being actual students at this magical school after all of the crazy, horrible drama that's been going on. And now we're meeting our, fellow classmates and club members, and nothing sinister is happening. There's definitely not some giant chess game between some evil-like creature and one of our professors that we've been roped into. It's fine. It's totally normal. Just go into class. Don't worry about it. But with that being said, I think it's time for us to drop a raid, and because at this point we're now just dueling for who is raiding it, whoever at this point, we're going to send all our love over to one Distortion Debaru. But before we do that, we also have to go with our quote of the week, which goes to Rue for Maybe He's Salty.
That has to be our actual raid message. That's actually a really good one for Connor.
Well, I was thinking of a slightly different one of He Smells Salty.
He smells salty.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, well, there you go. That's our raid message. He smells salty, and we will see you all hopefully sometime soon. We'll figure that out and try to keep you posted as is. But until then, bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.